Hub headlines.
The Boston Red Sox got swept out of Fenway Park yesterday. Their ninth-inning rally came up short, dropping their record to 22-30 on the season. Red Sox off today before welcoming the Braves into Fenway tomorrow night. In the NBA last night, the Spurs rolled to a 103-82 win over the Thunder to tie that series up at 2 games apiece. Victor Wembanyama had 33 points in just 31 minutes. And the Golden Knights pulled off a crazy comeback win, rallying from a 3-0 hole to beat the Avalanche 5-3 in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals last night. The Knights now have a 3-0 series in that lead. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Super Service Today. Upgrade your home with an electric heat pump system from Super Service Today. Stay cool this summer, warm all winter, and save on energy costs while reducing your carbon footprint. For a free estimate, visit superservicetoday.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Boston Talk Sports.
Break me.
We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Anchorman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, but Wallach and Hardy and Nick and Ryan and Adam, no one's here. They're not here. They're not needed. Joe Murray is here. Michael Hurley is here. As we are on Memorial Day, and based on traffic outside, I can only imagine the amount of listeners right now. It's got to be a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. This is my days at AM 1170 in Cumming, Georgia, when I would turn off the transmitter at night. This is reminiscent of that time. But thank you, gentlemen, for coming in on this holiday. Now, is there anything that you've got going on later today?
I have television, cheap plug, Nesson, 4 o'clock. Boston
They're having you come in on Memorial Day.
Yeah, baby. I think we get time and a half, too. I'm not sure.
So you are on a show called What on Nesson again?
Boston has entered the chat.
Boston has entered the chat, and it's live 5 days a week.
5 days a week at 4 o'clock to 6 p.m.
Right.
And I get over to here for 7 o'clock at night.
Yes, because you were on, what is that, Sturo Drive, right?
They're at where the Watertown Mall is, or what do you call it?
Oh, the Arsenal Mall?
Arsenal Yards now.
Okay, so they're at Arsenal Yards, so it's not that far from here.
Yeah. It's on this street. It's just 5 miles down.
Okay, so you go there, and they're doing the show today.
Correct, live.
Did they say why?
Because the Red Sox are playing, and we are the pregame show of the Boston Red Sox.
They're not playing today.
Are they? Oh, they're off?
They're off.
Yeah, they're off.
Then that's why we're on.
You got to talk about how good they are.
Yeah, it's been, well, you know, last week I saw the article, Fred. I wasn't happy about that. They spelled your name wrong.
Oh, the Nesson article where
Yeah.
they called it Tucker and Rich instead of Toucher and Hardy.
And, there's no one to talk to there about that because, well,
It's outsourced.
They outsourced it all. So
So is that even a person that wrote that article, or is that AI?
it was a real human who wrote that.
Okay, and so where are they in
No,
Boston?
not that I am aware of.
Okay,
I can give you a little insight on that because I worked briefly for something similar.
yeah.
It's bleak. It's like the content farming world is bleak. Like I tried, and it wasn't for me. It's like you got to put the headlines have to be like, Cardinals fans will never watch baseball again if this happened. And it's just like, but so it's someone somewhere wrote it.
Right. So what happened is, part of my take, the Barstool show had Belichick on, and they didn't ask him about Jordan Hudson. And then one of the guys that I guess is not one of the main guys, but one of like the tertiary people or producers or something is from Boston. It's a younger guy. And he got on and he like glazed Belichick. Like, you taught me how to win, and he got like weepy. So I certainly made fun of him and said that he needs a male figure in his life. This is pretty
I grew
sad.
up in Scituate from 96 till 2016. Dude, you made me and like an entire generation of kids feel like winners because of your team. So thank you, first of all.
Yeah, that was sad. So I said that, and obviously, I mean, it's pretty obvious that guy has friends here, and they busted his balls about me making fun of him, and he responded with F the show, or F the older incarnation of the show, but nonetheless, F this show, which I understand. I made fun of him, of course. F me. F me, absolutely. It hurt your feelings. I understand that. But then it got turned into, it's funny how it works too, Hurley, because like someone wrote that we were beefing with that show, and then the quotes about what I said certainly are more positive than negative. It literally says, I was a little annoyed they didn't ask about Jordan Hudson, which is scathing. Absolutely scathing. So they write that, and and then they turn it into this like whole thing. And I said something like, people, it's a 20-minute thing where we're, listening to them ask questions and things like that. And at one point I go, you're not asking Belichick about what he's most known for, which of course you take that quote and then it makes it sound like I'm saying in the history of his life, that's the most, I am unaware of anything he's accomplished short of dating Jordan Hudson. But I would argue, it would be inarguable to say that if you said what he's been covered the most for since he's been fired as the coach of the Patriots has been his relationship with Jordan Hudson. It's inarguable. It's a fact. I mean, you could do a Nexus Lexus search if they still do those things, and you could find it out.
You don't think it's from working for Ted Marchambroda with the Lions in the 70s? Because they covered that.
Yes, well,
it's been big.
Yeah, I don't know. That is true. That was a pretty good Lions team. That was right before Billy Sims. So you got to figure that was a big. I don't even know who was on the 70s Lions teams. I can't name one player.
What I don't like about the
Melfar Superstar.
What I was going to say is like, there's no beef. Like, there's no beef.
No,
you don't care.
No,
they seem to care.
No, they don't. I don't even think that they care. I think that one kid cares because I made fun of him.
Got it.
And then he goes, F me, which I, of course, understand. I made fun of you. Like, what do I think? I'm going to make fun of someone? And they're going to be like, wow, what a great guy. You made fun of me. Yeah. Well, no one cares about your show. Fine, no one cares about my show, but he found out about it. Like, someone told him. So I would assume, since he's a young man, that his friends didn't go, dude, I'm so sorry. This guy on 98.5 The Sports Hub teased you about what you said to Belichick. Like, don't freak out. Like, it's okay. I take it they went, ha, ha. This guy on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Because his friends, if they're sports fans around here, one of them listens to the station at some point. You'd figure, just by metrics, that's not a wild, boastful statement that one of kid's friends might listen to the show. And, yeah, and then they busted his balls, and he got butthurt about it, and then he went on, which is, I don't mean butthurt like to dismiss it. Like, he got upset, and as I've been upset about many things, and he got upset, and he said to F the show and F me, which I, of course, understand. And I have no follow-up to that. I'm not out of my mind. I get why you wouldn't like me. I made fun of you. But in terms of the other two guys, Big Cat and the Jesus Christ, I sound like I'm
PFT commentator.
PFT commentator. Obviously, I've said far more nice things than bad. All I said was I was a little disappointed that they didn't ask about it, and I thought it would be more entertaining if they did. That's all. And then they said, well, we're not journalists. And I said, and then in response to that, I say, yeah, I know. No one's saying you had to ask them. Just said I was a little disappointed you didn't ask
This
them.
is what I mean about this isn't a beef to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I felt like that article that came out may have like started something because it wasn't accurate. And then maybe, you know what I mean? It's just, maybe there's just a lot of, I feel like you're in a good place about this. Just for me as like a listener trying to understand it, there is no beef.
Beef brewing. That's what that beef brewing.
But even the
now I
quote in
feel
the
like
article.
we might be in a beef right now.
Uh-oh.
We might be beefing.
Who are we beefing with?
With Toucher and Rich.
Yeah, they sound really
Which sounds
upset.
like that's just the name for Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein back in the day. That was their going out.
Yeah,
name.
I heard that in the file that we share, and I do question the out loud laughing at that. Toucher and Rich, that sounds like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so Toucher is Epstein.
You ever hear it?
Why is Ghislaine Maxwell rich?
Yeah, I didn't get it, but I thought maybe I was dumb. So I played along.
I don't get it either. I just think that it was like a Johnny Carson joke. You know, that's like, I don't know, like Gerald Ford playing golf with Jane Mansfield. You know, you just named two people from the news. Or is Rich because you can call someone named Rich Dick? But why would Ghislaine Maxwell be that? See, the joke doesn't make sense. Regardless, it's like, yeah, and that goes further. I don't think they overly care.
Well, it seems like the beef is really picking up over here.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that didn't sound like that was a whole thing.
Yes. In full disclosure, Fred didn't bring this up. I did. I don't have a problem with those guys either. It sounds like Fred's in a good place about it, but I'm still a little confused. If there's a beef, that doesn't sound like there is a beef.
No, I'm just, I mean, to more than anything, it's like nice that we can, you know, talk about something that happened in the media and that it makes it still, given the state of radio, makes anyone pay attention.
It's true.
And again, I understand the kid from around here being pissed at me. I made fun of him. I mean, it's like, I realize when you make fun of someone, they're not always going to go like, oh, that's the greatest.
Yeah.
Like when you make fun of someone like you're friends with or someone that you know, then I expect a little grace. You know, I expect them to go, oh, yeah, you're busting balls. But if it's someone you don't know, I would, yes, of course, you don't
agree
like
with that. You can't bust balls. You can bust my balls. I know you guys.
Yeah.
But if I don't know you, I'm not going to like it.
Plus, there's stuff that's like, that I wouldn't make fun of you about, or like stuff that like, you know, that, you know, if you know someone, it takes a lot if you know someone, because my feeling is if you know someone and they make fun of you, you have to know they're trying to hurt you, right? Like they're trying to say something that you don't want talked about, or they're trying to say something that is personal to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of thing.
I mean, I've been made fun of quite a bit on this station, and I always enjoy it because of that reason, because you know it's coming from the right place.
Right. And again, if I make fun of look, I'm old now. If I make fun of someone, they should be mad at me. I understand it, especially if you're like a young guy that, you know, probably hasn't been made fun of a lot by other media. I mean, that can be difficult at first. I didn't handle it very well when I was young. I handled it well when I was young, and then I started having kids and needed a job, and then I didn't handle it as well. When I was in my 20s, I thought it was really funny when people would complain. Dan, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, you got to pull some audio. Wallach pulled some bad moves when you were out Friday. When I forget who was in talking about football at 7 o'clock hour, he told a story about getting fired from his first job for calling out to watch a football game. And when he told that story and said the firing part, Wallach yelled, cheered, and started clapping like the McAfee show. And it was egregious. If you were on the show, you would have kicked him out of the studio. He did it multiple times.
He wouldn't have done it if I was here.
Clapping and yelling.
He wouldn't have done it if I was here. He gets so excited.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes. When
bad.
Hardy and I aren't here, he gets very, very excited. And you should see him in the pre-show meeting. We've talked about it on the air before. He gets in here and he gets like all boisterous, like, and has like a million ideas in quotations. And then what will happen though is if I'm here, he knows he needs to restrain himself a little bit with that silliness. But when obviously when I'm gone and Hardy's here, he's got to be firmer with him.
Fred did when you guys aren't here. There's days where Wallach was the lead and I was the other guy, and he really likes to just get his point in before you can give your opinion. Yes,
head honcho.
But I do love Wallach.
Aye. Yeah. If Bert was talking about missing a day of work because I missed a day of work, that annoys me.
Well, we're here today. I mean, I'm gonna make it up later on in the year.
That's why
working on a holiday.
Yeah,
that's why we're here together.
Yeah, I wasn't going away this weekend. My son's birthday was Saturday, and he's 18.
Wow.
And when he was born, it took forever for him to come out. And I was at Beth Israel Hospital. I was on afternoons at WBCN, and I was at Beth Israel Hospital, like on the air on the phone, like checking in. And listeners were sending stuff to the hospital, like beer and stuff like that to the hospital. So someone out there listening to this on podcast or live was probably listening while my son was being born. And now my son is 18. So I just want someone else to feel bad about this too, that we are all getting much older, because that was something that happened on air. And it wasn't my first day. Like, I'd been in the market for 2 years when he was born.
I think I remember that day, listening to the old show back then. And Milo, obviously, he's been here. Both your kids have been here at a very young age. And now Milo is 18. How does that make what and Fred Toucher feel?
It's interesting because, leading up to, because the kids dominate. I mean, Hurley knows he's got kids. Like, the kids dominate your life to such a degree with, driving and activities and coaching and all this stuff. They like just dominate everything. So when I knew that was coming to an end, I got kind of freaked out. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But he got his license a year ago, and then he didn't need me nearly as much. And he goes to school kind of far away, right? Like, and so like, and then he's got his baseball stuff, which is all over the place, which he can drive to now. I'll go to games where he pitches, but I don't go to the other games. So generally, so like, I don't see him nearly as much. Like yesterday I saw him for a long time because we had to go get his new phone set up, which only takes about 3 hours. And that's not an exaggeration. But, so there'll be days where, and I'm divorced. So like, I see him every day pretty much, but I'll see him for like 10 minutes. So that has been a nice ramp to like kind of being like, this might not be the worst thing in the world. Like, as long as he's doing well, and my daughter's 15 and doesn't drive yet, but like now that I'm seeing like, okay, if I have more time and I can do like things with adults, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe this next chapter won't be so bad. So there is that little bit of purgatory between, them leaving the house and just being gone. And then, because he reclassed, so he's got another year of high school. So, like, there's like a little bit of, this might not be so bad. Because when, when they're not around and they're doing their own thing, that gives I can go do whatever I want, which isn't the worst.
Does he have a car yet?
Oh, yeah. He's got a car.
Wow.
He's only done several $1,000s worth of damage to it. But in fairness, he drives, out to Groton every day and back, and then he has to drive to Hudson. So he's always constantly in that car. And his girlfriend lives out in Andover. So he's, it's a triangle of inconvenience.
Oh, yeah.
Newton, Groton, Andover. It's like all over the place.
Those are different universes.
Exactly. So I mean, just by statistically, he's never been in a bad accident or anything, but he roughs, and if you bump a car and it like makes a dent where you can't open up your door all the way, that's $3,000. Like, you understand? Like, there's nothing's like, oh, that will be $30. Like, I just got my inspection. I got pulled over for not having an inspection sticker here in Waltham, and the guy gave me a warning.
$40, right? To get it.
Well, not that. I went to go take it in, and the guy goes, "I can't pass you. You need new tires."
Oh no!
Go to a different place.
No. That I know the business.
That's a scam.
Well, I didn't buy tires from the guy. The guy didn't sell tires.
Out on that. No,
I understand.
Go somewhere else.
I understand.
There must be a mandate coming down because my friend said the same thing last week.
How long can you have tires before you need new tires if you never rotate them?
I mean, I don't know. What do you have? 40, 50,000 miles?
40?
Yeah. I mean, you
at least
probably rotate them again.
Well, I'll say this: is I went to Town Fair Tire, and Hardy had talked to Town Fair Tire, and I got a wonderful deal, and I can actually tell that the car is driving better.
Oh yeah.
So,
now you'll go back to the guy.
I did, and now I got the sticker because I told the guy goes, "Why are you aware your sticker was expired?" And I said yes. And I said yes. I was just being lazy about it, and then he left, and I thought he'll like that because I've been honest. And then when he came back, he said, you didn't give me a good excuse. That's not a good excuse that you're lazy. And I was like, well, it's not an excuse. I'm telling you I was lazy. The whole idea about that was that I was going to unnerve you with my being very honest and upfront about things. I wasn't trying to BS you. Because a lot of times they'll go, I pulled you over for the stick. And again, I appreciate the guy didn't give me a ticket. And I know why he pulled me over. My sticker had been expired for a long time. He didn't do anything wrong, or he wasn't like unpleasant or anything. That was just the thing. I was like, wait a second. I wasn't making an excuse. You had every right to give me a ticket. But usually, like when it's happened before, I'll always go get the inspection after it. But like they'll go like, hey, like your inspection sticker's expired. I go, yeah. And they'll go like, all right, we go handle that. And I'm like, okay. They'll like run your name to make sure you're not wanted for murder or something. And then when they find out you're not wanted for nothing, then they usually are pretty like, yeah, just get out of here. But he made a written warning. He could have given me a ticket. I appreciate that he didn't. But I went and got the new tires, fellas. I went and got them. I didn't get them from the guy that told me to get new tires. I went to Town Fair Tire.
Good. Town Fair is a great partner to our station.
Thank you.
I did a price match there last summer. I felt like a billionaire.
There was a guy in the Verizon store yesterday, and there was one person working at the Verizon store
on a Sunday.
And there was and before Memorial Day, and there was a guy. And then once you're in the weeds, you're in the weeds. And the woman was very helpful, but there was a guy who was with his older daughter and wife, and he was wheeling and dealing. It was the worst. It added another hour to my experience. And at the end of it, he goes, well, my daughter's leaving to go home after tomorrow. And I went, you just spent like one of the last 2 days you're going to have with your daughter for who knows how long, wheeling and dealing at the Verizon store. And like, for instance, they're like, I'll give you guys an example. Do you have HBO Max? Yeah. Okay. Do you know how much you pay for it? No. Okay. No, I don't. It's too much. Good. Fine. Because they're like, we can. And he's like, let's see here. And he like looks on how much he's paying for HBO Max. Like, oh my God, dude, just stop. Like, get out of here. You've been in here for hours and hours. Not an exaggeration. Hours and hours and hours. Like, just you pay. It's perfectly fine what you pay. Just get rid of it. And then the wife's like, she's like, well, do you have commercials on HBO Max? And he's like, no, we don't. And then the wife's like, I think we don't have commercials on Netflix, but we do on HBO. And you're like, oh my God. You're going to save $1. And like, which is fine. Go home and save $1. Don't sit here anymore. Your daughter's aging and going away. Go do something nice with her. Don't sit at a Verizon. Everything that you've wanted to accomplish has been accomplished. Don't still. She said to me, do you have HBO? I said, yeah. Who pays for it? I don't know. I said, I don't know. I don't know. It's all mixed up. I don't know. My ex-wife. I don't know. Someone pays for it. I don't know. I cancel this stuff all the time. You guys probably do too. I mean, how many times have you gotten something you just cancel it the same day?
I've bought Peacock 15 times.
Exactly.
Same with me.
And then I go to cancel. They're like, what if we do 6 months for $2 a month? You're like, fine.
Yeah.
I'll forget to cancel it in 6 months.
Right, exactly. And so, like, I remember Michigan State basketball was playing on the Big Ten Network, and I was like, fine, I'll get the Big Ten Network. And I got Big Ten Plus. And then, you know what the great thing about Big Ten Plus is? They have all the Big Ten action except for games you want to see. They don't have men's basketball or football. It's just like baseball and softball. And you're like, oh, well, this is a complete waste. So, yeah, I'm canceling stuff constantly. Who pays for it?
Do you know what the worst part of that story is? Is engaging a poor person that was just at work, just trying to get through the day. Like, I've gone on Verizon and, like, chatbot, and they're like, hey, your bill's like half now. And I'm like, great.
Yeah.
It takes 5 minutes.
I'll tell you, I go to the Apple store now. I actually make an appointment in advance, and they'll tell me when to come in. And when I come in, they ask for me, and I can do it all right down in there, whether it's repairs for your phone, whatever. The Apple store is where to go.
But for Verizon, you need to go to Verizon
Yeah,
to actually physically make the phone.
Yep.
And in fairness to Verizon, we can return the phone that we had bought him for his birthday because he was eligible for a free phone. So, hey, get him my money back. So I got that going. So they were helpful. She was very helpful. It was the customer that was the real piece of crap.
Out on the
So I started going a mile. And then it was getting. He's like, "You're being too loud now." And I'm like, I'm trying to get him to go, trying to shame him out of here. Shut up. Get out of here. All right, very good. We'll be back. And we will have plenty for you with everything that happened in the evening of That Was Last. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
Did you catch a game last night?
We're Toucher and Hardy, Joe Murray, Michael Hurley in today, and Joseph. They played yesterday, which was very surprising. I said to my son, I said, do you want to go to the game? He said, it will be raining. I said, smart boy. They're probably not even going to play the thing, but they did.
They did, and what happened last night presented by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened, so change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Oh, it was a sweep for the Twins, but the Red Sox made it close late. Sonny Gray got the start in this one. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts. They went to the bullpen. They brought up I shouldn't call him a kid, a veteran over the weekend, Tyron Guerrero, who has some good stuff, had 2 strikeouts. They pulled him for Garrett Whitlock. And Whitlock gave up the go-ahead runs in this one to put the game away 6-4. The bullpen held it the rest of the way. And then, the Red Sox had a chance to win. Let's hear it.
First one to him. High fly ball, left field. It's deep. Backing up is Larnach. All the way to the wall. It's off the green. In to score Sogard. Here comes Wong trying to score. Here's the play at the plate. The tag. He is out at home.
So, yes, bases loaded, right? Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at the plate. Thought he hit a home run. Kind of jogged it off. Thought he hit it. And Connor Wong was not a heavy catcher.
Pinch runner.
Yes.
Pinch runner, Connor Wong.
Made no sense. Kind of held up a little bit. There is a Twins broadcast that went back and showed that he kind of wasn't running as hard.
He acted as if it might get caught, which you could not tell that well because of the raindrops on the camera.
Yes.
That ball almost got out.
It almost did.
That wall's 37 feet high.
And I'm seeing it right now. It's almost like he was also maybe afraid to go all out on the way the field was. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's pinch runner maybe is the reason for that.
You're the tying run. You got to know every situation.
Wasn't familiar with maybe the dirt or the conditions at that time.
Well, he was scared that he was gonna give out his leg was gonna give out or something like that. In fact, that happened a couple. I'm watching the highlights right now. That the Twins were doing that too. They were slowing up. I don't know. Maybe it was like a skating rink out there or something. I don't know.
I'll say this. I blame Wong. I know that they've had some instances earlier, even last year. They have a new third base coach because they fired the other one.
Dude, it happened Saturday.
Happened literally on Saturday. Same exact thing. But in this specific case, I don't blame them. They can't score runs. They struggle at home. They've had, in every single game this weekend, they had a chance to win the game or be in the game late. And their bullpen blew it every single time. Or the hits didn't happen with runners in scoring position. It was over and over and over, and it seems to be the story right now.
Or it's the 9th inning, and you're like, pinch hitter, Mickey Gasper.
That was not smart. Although him and Sogard have helped, right?
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is we're at a point right now with the Red Sox where I think they're trying to fundamentally do everything they can. But I just think they're a baseball team not built to win at Fenway. If you think about it,
8-17 at home.
It's not good, but they can play at other ballparks if you notice that.
About 500, I think.
So that's where I'm going with it. The team isn't built to play at Fenway. And Chad Tracy tried to defend the aggressive base running, which I'll go with it. But let's hear what Chad Tracy had to say.
What do you think of Chad's aggressive sentiment?
I understand the sentiment. Soaking wet, raining, pouring, ball's wet, and then it's going to skip on the throw. So I definitely understand the sentiment. It's not easy to throw balls. We saw it early in the game with Williard trying to throw the ball home and it slips out. So I totally get it, being aggressive there with one out and trying to get the game tied.
So I'm okay with that one. That doesn't bother me. I'm not upset with what he said there. But why go to Whitlock when the kid before him is throwing gas? And I know they just brought him up. He's 35 or what? A 34-year-old kid that they just brought up. So there were multiple instances this weekend. Multiple. Friday night, they had a chance to win that game. They go to Slayton. Slayton gives up 2 home runs, 3-run lead, boom, over. And then they couldn't score later on in the game to close it out. They went with the opener again on Saturday. Brian Bayo mowed him down the rest of the way. It's like he needs a fluffer, Fred. He literally needs a fluffer.
Yes, we did. It's, we discussed it with Karen on Thursday. It's obviously, it's psychological. It's uncommon, obviously, for starters to need this. But, I mean, there are guys that can only pitch out of the bullpen. I mean, that's a fact. There's guys that whatever they need mentally to be in game flow, like mentally, before they can walk into a game. I mean, you guys know this. The preparation is more limited for going in when you have less time to think when you're going in as a reliever. All these things, but how long? And Karen's thing was, well, when Crochet comes back, they're not going to need Bayo to start. So, and they're going to need a long reliever. So just have Bayo be your long reliever.
Then you take away all the known situations. Then it's like, oh, get up. We need you in 5 minutes. There's no prep. Like it's even worse at that point.
Well, no, but that would be the advantage for him is that the thinking is that mentally you have to, that going into a game cold with, like, I guess 24 hours of anticipation is too taxing for you mentally. So even that, like, inning of getting into it, like, it's entirely mental. Yeah. There's nothing physical about having to come into the second inning. But there are guys that are bullpen guys instead of starters. I mean, there's a million reasons for it. I mean, like your stamina and things like that. But there is a mental aspect for it that some guys prefer. There is. Mm-hmm. And so for Bayo, I could make the argument that if you want to make him a long reliever, that lack of knowing that you're going to come in is an advantage for him. Like, the less time he has to think about it, the better.
Yeah. I would send him down personally, but maybe they look at it as a long relief situation there. He can only throw a sinker. He can't throw a fastball right now. And this league's all about velocity now, right? Only certain guys can really spin it. I thought Sonny Gray, he had a difficult day yesterday, but he can spin it.
It's wet. I mean, a wet ball. Yeah. I remember his first start in Cincinnati. It was cold. He couldn't get a grip on the ball. Then he comes home and he's fine. So I think that's a big part there. With Bayo, like, were you guys watching the first inning on Saturday? Imagine any job. Like, I don't know how you don't.
Giovanni Moran must be pissed.
The shame of just being out there as the guy that's doing your job is just floundering, and you're with your little stretchy bands. Like,
yeah. Do you know that he's perfect outside of the opener situation? Moran pitched yesterday and had 2 strikeouts. Oh,
yeah, they got to stop starting. Stop using.
Think about it. He's given up. He's all the runs he's given up has been the starter,
and that's another example. Of that. That it's the mental. So it's an inning's an inning.
Yep.
But if you're starting a game mentally, that can be difficult for guys. And obviously, this isn't good for Bayo or his career or his long-term finances. But would you rather if when Crochet comes back, would you rather have Bayo remain a starter or to put him in long relief? I know you could send him down, but if you're keeping him on the major league roster, would you rather have an opener for him or use the starters that you have and put him in long relief?
They'll probably do that. Crochet did talk this weekend. Looks like he's going to be back sooner than later, maybe the week or so. The Red Sox right now have the worst second base, shortstop, and third baseman hitting in baseball. They're 8-17 at Fenway. They are looking for a right-handed bat. Not sure who those names are. I know the Mike Trout thing has been rumored before, and he spoke this weekend saying that he's not thinking about that.
Well, they just swept. The Angels just had a very good weekend.
Swept the Rangers.
They're right back in it.
So
there's only one team that hasn't had a sweep this year. I
do have a
who it is off the top of my head.
I have a take on the Red Sox. We'll get into it later. But teams are interested in Chapman, Aroldis Chapman.
Yes.
And if I was the Red Sox, I would, if they are going to trade him, I would get a king's ransom for him.
Well, Steve Phillips is of the mind, Steve Phillips, the old general manager, that they should just sell everyone that's a veteran. And I wondered how that would go down with the fan base.
Yeah, Pete Abraham had an article on that. We'll get to that in the next hour as well. There's a lot going on there when it comes to the Red Sox. Also, though, this weekend, the NBA playoffs continued. Wemby, the Knicks are one game away from the finals, and Jaylen Brown spoke on another stream last night. I think he has spoken on more streams than wins that they had in the playoffs. So well,
it's working out for him, so that's good.
It is, and as long as he's happy and that this was the best season ever.
And he's also, it's building a media empire for him. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
After sweeping the Royals in Kansas City last week, the Red Sox returned home and got swept by the Minnesota Twins. Sunday's game in the rain featured homers by Masataka Yoshida and Wilson Contreras, but Cedar Rafaela flew out with a tying run on third to end the game. Speaking of the Red Sox, ESPN released rankings of team ABS challenges, the Red Sox ranking 29th in that department. The Spurs tied up the Western Conference Finals at 2 games apiece last night. Tonight, the Knicks will try to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals as they lead the Cavs 3-0. Tip-off for that one is at 8 p.m. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. Reach your health and weight goals with Reclaim by Awaken 180, a 10-week medication-free plan with weekly results and a finish line. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update at 7 o'clock.
little hockey. I know that with the Bees out, did you know that the Canadians are in the playoffs? And right now, they're tied at 1. And there was a great game last night. Colorado goes up 3-0. Then Torts and crew tie it up at 3 and then run away with it in the third period.
Games of the season. Torzak, nice touch off by Stone. Backhand score! Tomas Hertl gives Vegas the lead for the first time tonight.
Vegas up 3-0 now in that series. And Butchie gets canned. They bring in Torts. Like, is that all they needed? Did they really hate Cassidy that much? That they had to bring in Hardo Torts, who they've all gotten behind. Stone played last night as well, at a goal and assist. But they're up 3-0 right now. And is it a good story?
I thought that move was a prank by the Golden Knights. Like, oh, you don't like your coach? Is he mean to you? Here's John Tortorella.
Mm-hmm. But, like, is this a good story? Like, they fire their coach, who's won with them before. Then they bring in Tortorella. So is the story about Torts? Is it about, like, that's probably where we're at, right?
I think the story is the Avalanche.
Oh, completely.
Best team in hockey, just choking it away. You get a 3-0 lead. There's really, how do you lose that game?
Right, especially when you're supposed to be the best team
Right.
in hockey. What's interesting about the Tortorella thing will be how long he can keep this job. Because everyone knows Tortorella is good in small doses. So say Vegas wins the cup, then it's like this countdown to see how long it takes him to burn himself out there. Like, does he make it even like a season? Do you get one season's grace with his history? Because you know he's going to come in swinging it too. If they win a cup, he's going to come in just like out of control. Just just not listening to anyone. He's already cost him a second-round pick with his nonsense.
For no reason.
Yeah.
No, for no reason except he's a dick.
But that's the thing. He built his entire career and reputation on that cup victory early in his career with Tampa, and he didn't do anything after that for 2 decades.
And so that's the thing is that, they got rid of Cassidy, and, Cassidy had won a cup. And I'm just interested because if you're Vegas, you bring in Tortorella, short term that he can be very effective, right? So he comes in and say you win the cup, just for argument's sake, which, look, if it's Montreal, Vegas, you just got to like Vegas in that, correct? I would assume. So, and say they win the cup, but his history of burning himself out with other teams, and now he's like really, really feeling himself. How long it takes him to blow himself out of Vegas. That would be interesting.
So, they'd have to give him a long-term extension if they win the cup, right?
Right, but how long does he...
Yeah.
Like, how long do they want him coaching that team? Again, he's already cost them a second-round pick for no reason.
He's also 67 years old. Did you know that? I didn't.
Well, the anger's an energy, my friend.
Well, a lot of guys
keeps you young.
Van Gundy's interviewing now for the, what is it, just saw Blazers.
one?
Blazers.
Which Van Gundy?
Jeff Van
Gundy.
Oh.
He coached the Knicks the last time they were in the NBA
That's
Finals in
right.
1999.
So speaking
He
of
loves
that,
hanging on the legs.
the New York Knicks are up 3-0, guys. And I will admit the Celtics had a very, very easy path to the finals and beat a team like the Mavericks in the finals. I don't think that the Cavs are a speed bump, but I think the Knicks will sweep. And then they'll play the winner of San Antonio and Oklahoma City, where last night Victor Wembanyama went off again, and he also hit a full court shot.
Half court.
Side, 90 seconds. Wembanyama rising for 3. No good. No, we rolled
I can't have this. It's 2 horrible local broadcast teams. Are you guys aware of the Oklahoma City guy?
No.
I heard the clip when Wembanyama hit that bomb in game 1 to tie it from the logo. He just didn't call it. The Oklahoma City. It was just like, and it's good.
Yeah.
Tie game.
And now any 3-pointer that Oklahoma City makes at any point in any game, almost compulsively, he has to say, ching, ching, another Thunder money ball. He says that. Like, even if there's something going on in transition. So You have to understand how aggravating that is. It's not, on a game winner or on a big shot. It's literally in a league where all they do is take threes. He has to say it after every made three by Oklahoma City, and he'll jam it in regardless of what else is going on. Someone could die on the court, and he would be like, ching ching is another Thunder money ball. Draymond Green clutching his chest at center court. It's just, and then this guy has to say wee wee.
No, wee wee! He rolled off the front of the rim.
Yeah, he rolled off the front of the rim. You're gonna get on the floor.
I did think it was a full half court shot.
Yes,
it was from half court.
All right, because I thought it was from. I don't know why. I thought
looked
it was
like
because they say the logo, but the logo can mean different things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from half
like,
court.
I think if you shoot from behind the half court line, you don't get charged a miss.
3 seconds, 2 seconds. Wemby from half court. Yes, sir! Victor Wembanyama, a half-court jumper, beats the buzzer, and the Spurs go up by 12.
He is amazing.
No, we win!
I don't know. Oklahoma City last night, they did not have a great game, their team overall. But SGA, you are noticing the flops now, right? It's not just people everyone likes to complain. It's real.
Do you think this will actually have some substance to it? It seems like there's a movement going on, because obviously flopping is not new in the NBA, but he is just falling every single time he shoots the ball.
It might be why Oklahoma City doesn't advance. Granted, they have home court, which does home court even matter anymore? Does home ice even matter anymore in the playoffs?
Well, home ice certainly doesn't matter.
But OKC goes back home now, series tied at 2. I don't know, man. We know every year, right? Teams have a trouble going back to back. It's been almost 7 years now. But the average age of the Spurs, 22 years old. And last night, Wemby led the way, and Luke Cornett even got into the mix last night, which...
Oui.
So I think we're going to get a New York Knicks Spurs final. That's my prediction. And I think the Knicks are going to win the championship.
Really?
I think that these two teams are going to beat the crap out of each other. And the Knicks are going to sweep. And they're going to have plenty of rest before they take on one of these two teams, which I think both are beat up. Williams is hurt. I saw Fox with 2 air casts on his feet last night. I think I think these two teams are better. New York Knicks honestly have a chance to win the championship, and that is wild to me.
I just know how tense the Garden's going to be. If in a close game or if they're down 5, that place gets it's like the Garden, it's like TD Garden for the Bruins. There's a sense, a very tangible sense of dread that overcomes that building. That's always interesting to see. That fan base, and then you see Ben Stiller, he gets very upset, and just seeing him over there, little Ben Stiller.
He's beefing. He's beefing with Barstool. He and Portnoy seem to be going back and forth.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I hope it's not as savage as the one that I've got going with Barstool.
It's pretty aggressive.
I mean, I don't know if they can afford to pick these kinds of battles.
Do you know what one of the funniest things that's ever happened was this year? There was a really serious news incident. I don't remember if it was a shooting or something really bad. I forget what it was. And Ben Stiller was like, out of respect for this, I will not be live tweeting the Knicks game tonight. And I was like, that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a big deal.
Right. I mean, because a lot of people would have passed judgment. They would have said, Ben, read the room. I mean.
He knew.
Like here I am, trying to find out information on what's going on in the world, and my whole feed is just with your
OG Anunoby hits another 3.
Your nonsense.
Money ball, Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, that's it. Every effing 3.
Open, snaps off an angle left 3-pointer for the tie-in, splashes. Ching the Thunder money ball, Chet Holmgren.
Every single one. It's compulsive. He needs therapy. He needs to be medicated. He needs therapy. All right. We will take a break. When we come back, Joe is going to continue this Red Sox discussion. A lot of talk about churning these veterans out before the deadline, which for a team that was, all in quotations, this is going to be interesting. And especially if they're Start trading guys they just traded for and signed in free agency. That's an interesting message for a team that's trying to contend. But it's probably the right thing to do. Peter Abraham wrote about it. A lot of people around baseball are talking about it. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the Sports.
Looking for, quote, a right-handed hitter with thump. But there are very few available options unless a team is willing to overpay. That thumpy hitter was missing this weekend when the Red Sox were swept by the Minnesota Twins. Red Sox end their season series with Minnesota with a 1-5 record. Red Sox also dropped their home record to 8-17 at Fenway this season. In the NBA, the Spurs dominated the Thunder last night to even up the Western Conference Finals at 2 games apiece. Victor Wembanyama with 33 points in that 21-point victory. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Right now, during their Beat the Summer promotion, Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the cost of a new roof. This offer ends July 6th. Call East Coast Metal Roofing and never replace your roof again. 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Big show on the way.
Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, Joe Murray, Michael Hurley in on this Memorial Day, which I was out of town on Saturday, and I saw people that were from way further away than I was, and I thought, oh no, what a terrible, terrible weekend to choose to go where it's never going to stop raining and it's going to be cold. You are going to be in raining hard enough where you're not even going to want to be outside, like even walking around. So you have just you've dumped a lot of money into a holiday weekend where you are just bound for misery.
I don't do it anymore. Memorial Day. You might remember years ago, Bird and I, we had a big July 4th party down the Cape. We bought thousands of dollars worth of meats, and it rained for 3 days straight. And we forced 4th of July and used the grill out in the rain. I mean, pouring rain. Like, it was really bad to the point where I will not spend money to go away anymore.
Wow.
Until after July 4th. So Memorial Day weekend, I'll be here with you again, Fred, if you want next year. And July 4th, I'll do something locally. I go to Bird's house.
I'll be here July 4th, too, because my son's baseball stuff, but... yeah, I'm with you. The only reason that I went out for one night was because my son's birthday was Saturday, and of course he didn't want to be with us. He wanted to be out with his friends. So everyone, my ex-wife, me, his sister, and I, and his girlfriend went out Friday night, and then they stayed at my house Friday night. Then Saturday, I knew that would be very difficult on his mother, so I was like, this is like a month ago. I was like, why don't you have my daughter Zoe stay with you on Saturday? It was honestly this. I had no plans. I was like, why don't you just have her stay with you, because I know this is going to be difficult for you. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. And then so I had nothing to do, and then I realized, well, it is my son's birthday too. Maybe I should try to find something to do to fill this day. And then I wasn't doing anything yesterday, and I knew I wasn't going to do anything today. And I said, if you take enough time at Christmas, you need to stack up some days. You can't. I get a lot of vacation, but I don't get enough vacation where I can just be screwing around. I need to work these holidays.
Yep, and Patriots starts for me August 13th. That's the first preseason game. So I work every game. I'll be here right at kickoff, and I'll do postgame. And I'm here all day. So once that August 13th comes around, I'm pretty much locked in for football until until February.
What do you guys do during the Patriots games while you're here?
All right, so I'm here. I work with the production team, Jeremy and Kevin Majori. And Mark Dondero meets me halfway.
The Duns.
And I'm telling you, he's like, we have belly bumped, fist pumped each other. He is a spitfire.
Spitfire?
What's the word? What is
Spitfire?
Spitfire. Yeah.
No, I thought you were referring to him as something else.
No, he's very animated. I'm sure you know this, right? He is like this. He has a twitch, or is it a switch? What's it? I'm trying to find. He has like a tick about him.
Wait, you get tick?
He has like a not like a
Not the streaming platform. He's got a little.
He's got like Tourette's?
No. He has like a intense, like you can turn it on. This intensity.
His default is like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, he could be like, that fires me up and like rip his shirt. You know? Let's go, Joey, baby. He calls me Joey all the time.
Seems like a little bit of an emotional issue.
I would say he is. It's passion. Yes, passion and emotion. Did you see his rap song that he made?
No.
You didn't see this thing?
I didn't look at it on purpose because I knew he wanted us to.
Oh, okay.
So I said I'm not indulging this behavior.
I give him credit for it because he used me in the video too, which I'll take.
Now, was it you?
No, he asked me to do things.
Oh, okay. So he asked you to do
and
them.
then
Okay.
he did it.
I didn't know if he just took your.
You know what? I think it's worth a watch. You don't have to talk about it, but I think it's worth a watch.
Because
I just wish Fred would have me on one time.
That's another thing.
You know that he made that video so people would talk about it and kind of make fun of it. And I'm not playing in that game.
Do you know what happened? I think people kind of liked it more than
good.
You know how it's
That's
like
good for him.
You know how you do something, to get people to talk about it. I think everyone was kind of like him, and not a bad job.
All right, I would question that, but I think you're too close to it, but maybe.
Taught me how to slurp it.
But he's the spit take I was here for, and
the very sincere spit take that he did.
I wasn't bothered by it at the time.
I wasn't bothered by it at all. It just was really corny.
But I did think it was, as I would use the word, kayfabe.
Yes, of course, Joe. No one's actually ever spit taked in their entire lives. It's like a trope of like vaudevillian comedy.
Yeah.
Like when you were playing to a room with no microphones, you were playing to like 500 people with no microphones and no kind of screens. You would have to do incredibly animated comedy in order for people to see it in the back row. Hence the spit take. No one has ever in real life ever consumed liquid and then were so overcome with news that they spat it out like they were playing the trumpet or the trumpet, either one. But you don't go that. No, that's a trope of like vaudevillian comedy.
Yeah, I've come to really like Mark though.
I don't dislike Mark at all.
No. What I mean is I've come to really like him because
the way you said it, you said like, well, I like him, and I'm like, I don't know him.
I've gotten to know him, and he is definitely different, but in a very passionate way. Like I almost think you and him should do a show together. Because you would see how intense he is about things.
I don't ban him. First of all, I don't. There's this. He has this perception that I ban him from.
I just wish Fred would have me on one time.
But you have to understand is that like I'll give you an example of today. So like Dan Roach, if he's available, I want Dan in. And Joe, I want you in because I have a relationship with you. And then today, they were like, you can have Hurley. And so I was like, oh, Mike, I know Mike. I'll have Hurley in. Like the wild card, the thing that's really against Dundero is I've never worked with him before. So, and I'll give you another example. I'd love to work with Michael Holley. Like I really would like to work with Michael Holley, but they don't even consider him because they go to Roach first. And I want to work with, like, I like working with Roach because I think the dynamic, I don't know if it would work every day for 2 years. But when he fills in for a day, I do feel like we have a really good dynamic, and I've actually become really good friends with him. So I feel that like that's the guy I want. But Dundero's in the place where I haven't worked with him before.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I got you. I just you've worked with Dundero?
I haven't. No.
Okay,
we crossed
and
over.
I know
That's about it.
Ryan Garvin does a lot of weekend
frequently,
stuff.
Yeah.
Toucher and Rochi, by the way, that sounds like Epstein and Ghislaine back in the day.
Oh, I almost spit taked. Again, that is from the PMT referring to us, and I do question that joke being laugh out loud funny. I don't know how that would elicit out loud laughs, but again, I have no beef with them, as Joe was saying. His parent company, Nesson, wrote an article about how my show was beefing with their show.
Yeah.
That was a little disingenuous.
Didn't like that.
And Joe stood up for it. He said this is ridiculous. They're not really beefing.
And then they told me there's no one I can talk to.
Right, because that person lives in Kuwait.
You know what gave it away? There was I forget, some Nesson story came across my eyes once, and the author bio was there, and it was like, I have been an NESN employee. Like they put the "an," so you know they don't say Nesson. They think they work for NESN, which nobody has ever said ever. So it was like the meme with the three fingers in Inglourious Bastards. You're like, that guy's not from here.
Yes, that's a. They could stand to get things going, but they're starting in that direction. Joseph is going to be on Nesson this afternoon on a show that they are doing live programming, real local live programming during the day.
Yeah,
which I applaud them on, because I told you, Joe, like about 10 years ago, my agent just made a call over to Nesson just to see. She was just like kind of getting maybe it was even more than that. It was just kind of trying to get the lay of the land of what local media was like, and if there was any opportunities in television, to simulcast the show or something like that, or to if they needed some whatever, just to kind of get to know what was going on locally. And she literally couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. Now, not that they went, "Oh, you're Fred Toucher's agent, we're not going to answer the phone." They wouldn't know she was Fred Toucher's agent because there was literally no one answering any phones. It just was a line to nowhere with no voicemail, no anything. Just a we get it. Just a line that rang and rang and rang and rang. And she went, "This is really a television network." And I said, "It is."
Yes.
In fact, they have two of the local sports teams.
They do. That's the one thing working there. They are team owned. So, you can't say on their airways, "Hey, the owner doesn't spend money." And
yeah, but I get that, and who cares? That's one thing you can't talk about. All I'm talking about is that it's a good thing that they put you guys on, that they're doing something somewhat local.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can. We have rated a little bit.
Nice.
So, I guess
that's better than this show ever did on NBC Sports Boston.
We're trying.
I don't think we ever showed up one time in the ratings.
They get us guests, which is great. We talked to a lot of the baseball writers. We've when football season was on, we had probably the same guys you have, Matt Light. With Drew Bledsoe, Teddy Bruschi.
You got Matt Light? Whoa.
No, he's funny though.
No, I know. But
a little bit of a wallflower, that guy.
Yeah, I know. He's never doing anything. But we have Papelbon on tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he knows me. Yes.
We'll talk to him about you. So anyway, when you're in here during the Patriots games, because you do pre and post, like how do you spend the time? I know you're watching the game, obviously, but do you have food brought in? Is it a bit of a party atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Jeremy and Kevin Maggiore are here all day. I just do post game, but I'm here at 1:00 because I want to watch. I don't want to watch halftime at home and then drive here and do all that.
Right.
But yes, there'll be a buffet of the masses. They might order something. I'll go to Market Basket, right around the corner. Fred, I don't know if you ever been to the big one.
Yes, sure.
But they have a luxurious a la carte situation over there. But the wings, they got wings galore. I sometimes
you like the wings there too.
I like their wings and their fingers. They make a nice little tuna sub.
Mm-hmm.
They have good pizza.
Now, do you have to pay for this, or does the station reimburse you?
I am not reimbursed. No way. I don't.
That
think
sounds like an expense.
Well, I don't think I can expense that.
You'd be surprised.
Oh well, maybe. All right. I mean, if it was my own company, I would
Well, Hardy and I bought those Thuppets. And they saw the first Thuppets video, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you money for those." I think it's more to own the Thuppets than it is to than anything else. Yes. But and I was like, okay, I guess if you really want to, and I meant it. Like, do you really want to? Because now I got now, if we go somewhere else, we got to buy new puppets.
Well, the other thing too is to me. That's the whole. I mean, you know this. If you leave, they own your rights.
Oh well,
they own you. So
but I mean, you get that. I mean, if it's the name of the, forget it. All right, so it's fun to be here.
Yeah, and Dundero really gets into it. Jeremy's been working the games forever, so he's just kind of here all day long, and he's kind of got a feel for it. Yeah, they're going to blow it or they're going to win it. But I like to listen to Zoe and the broadcast, so I hear what happens first, and then I watch it on the television and
that doesn't bother you.
No, but Dundero hates it, so he locks himself in a room and just listens to the TV broadcast.
I wonder how long he would have to do post game until it started to wear on him and he didn't care as viscerally about the games anymore. Because that's like that with anything. You think that, if, like, say you're like a huge Celtics fan and you're like, it would be like the greatest thing ever if I could just, like, for a living, cover the Celtics. There has to be a tipping point. Like Hurley with Deflategate when he became just completely.
Now you got my ears perked up.
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, I do. There has to be a point though when you're doing it for a living. It becomes a hassle. It becomes like something that an obligation rather than something you're doing for fun.
Yes, there are nights here where I work the Bruins and the Celtics game.
Yes,
and I'm the only one here, so I have to really time because sometimes the halftime could happen during an intermission and I've come to a point where I might not even be watching because I'm just working.
Right.
Yeah. So to your point, there are nights Celtics Bruins where it's just I don't care about the game.
How's Grandy?
Sean Grandy's great.
You have that wrestling thing in common.
We have a wrestling thing, but no, Grandy's he's a regular on our television show, and he, has he ever been on with you?
No.
Would you ever have him on?
No.
Really?
No.
I will say this though. One thing that I do talk to him about, because I tried to lay him up for you one day. I think you guys played it, but he was the whole gap year guy. Like he was all about gap year.
Yes.
And now that the year's over, he even says this was one of his best seasons and most favorable seasons. And, he was kind of building it up as like the gap year Celtics, but
he did one of the worst turnarounds. Is this it? This might be it. Let me see. This might be what you're talking about.
A season that began on opening night in this building against the Sixers. And on that night, whatever anybody says now, whatever they pretend changing history, nobody picked the Celtics ahead of the Sixers at the start of this year. The season began, and everybody called it a gap year at the start, and then I started doing it satirically during the year when the Celtics just kept winning crazy games and putting up a crazy scoring differential, and the Celtics for 82 games played as a top 4 team in the NBA. That was the start, which is why a lot of us were not overly optimistic about what this team could accomplish, and it's funny that it sort of came back that way at the end of the year. I know there's going to be craziness. That's what talk shows do, right, for the next 6 months. There's going to be all of this conversation throughout the emotion of losing this series. That will happen. But at the end of the day, the Celtics still have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They still have Peyton Pritchard because the expectations with Tatum returning healthy next year, it's what I kept saying all year, stop getting excited about this team and enjoy the house money year.
Yeah, so you can't do that. Like, you literally, that's so offensive that you if you don't listen to the broadcast, you have to understand how sanctimonious and patronizing he was. He was like this, I am so much better than he plays this, he's so into wrestling, Joe. It's such a wrestling thing. And he does this thing where he's like, oh, it's a gap year, all right. Another Celtics win. Oh, on the gap year. We knew, some of us knew, da-da-da-da-da. Fine. They were winning. They were the favorite to win the East. Literally, Joseph. Literally. When the moment the season ends, he goes, well, I was saying all that satirically. Well, yes, you were saying it as a satire of the people that thought that was what was going to happen. You weren't saying it to satirize how the team was overperforming and it's fool's gold. You cannot do that. It's so intellectually dishonest. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, and he still stands by it.
Of course he does, because he's just Trump. He's just going to say it until it's true. Just going to keep saying it until it's true.
But I think he does feel like Jaylen Brown, where like Jaylen said this was his best season.
That's great. He calls the games.
The same thing.
Yeah, he calls the games. Who cares what he thinks? Jaylen Brown's on the team.
Yep.
That's where it's concerning. but it's just the most aggravating thing. And it's so Celticsy, you know? Like, it's just, like, I can't see the Bruins. I can't in a million years see Johnston and Beers at the end of the first round loss when they were a favorite going like, huzzah. Like, like, what a year. Beers craps on that team like there's no tomorrow. And, he likes it when they're good. And believe me, Beers wants them to win. I know for a fact he does. But he certainly wouldn't turn around at the end of the year right after it was over. But then again, they also wouldn't dance around all year about how smart they are. So that's another thing. It's like, okay, so all year you can be the smart one. And you were. Fine. You were right. They're way better than anyone, but you thought they'd be. Brad Stevens obviously didn't think they were going to be that good. You heard him talk after the season. So Grandy knows more than Brad Stevens. So he's the guy. So great. So you get 82 games of being the smartest guy in the world. And the minute they lose, you go, I didn't mean it. No, you can't have that. You can't do it. It's like banging someone other than your wife, having the time of your life, and then she dumps you and you tell your wife, I never liked her. Well, no, you banged her. You got to bang her for 6 months. Smartest guy in the room for 6 months. They lose all of a sudden.
Well, to your point, Fred, the Celtics were favored to win the East even going into the last game of the season.
Yes.
When their season could have been ended by the Philadelphia 76ers, they were still the odds-on favorite to win the conference.
Oh, but they didn't have Tatum. Oh, yeah, that matter of Philadelphia not having Embiid for 3 games. Like, get out of here. There's no excuse. It's just nauseating. You performed right. Preseason expectations, fine. Then the season happens and expectations change. It's why they play sports. You don't go into it. Then they shouldn't have. Then the Patriots should have never been in the Super Bowl because it doesn't count because they weren't supposed to win 6 games.
I think you nailed it though when you said it's very Celtics-like, because we'll get into it in a bit. But Scal has done the same thing. Scal this offseason is doing the same thing.
All right, let's do that.
Out
next.
on that.
Let's do that next because now I can play the Grandy thing again and make fun of him, which I love to do. And I'm glad you brought it up. So let's get into the Scal thing next. We can go a little Celtics on this, and we can play a little bit of the Jaylen Brown stuff. We can go. What a gift to the Celtic fan. We will have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey. We are Toucher and Hardy, and we got Joe Murray and Michael Hurley in on this Memorial Day. Where the is that criminal hot dog kid eating today? He got
it's July 4th.
He got assault charges on him for
Chestnut.
Yes, he got into an altercation. Supposedly slapped somebody. But his probation, 180 days, and he can't leave the state of, I want to say it was like Illinois, Iowa, wherever it was. But he has now been allowed to go to
Coney Island.
Yeah, for Coney Island.
It's good to know the court system still has some fundamental basic rights for humans.
He will be coming to the area in the next couple of months, and he'll be doing a food competition.
So I was hearing a story about him. This is just very briefly. I heard a story about him like getting in this legal trouble and not being able to do Nathan's. And the guy was talking about how surprisingly Joey Chestnut not a lot of money, like not like FU money. Like he very, 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 very much needs to do the Nathans. Like he's not in a position not to do the Nathans.
He will be coming to the Brook Casino, and he might even be eating against me for all we know.
Yeah,
which I have been. I've been asked.
So now he's made a career eating and looking like esoteric, but he is nonetheless. He needs to eat.
Well, he saved the Nathan's hot dog eating contest a year ago, as they were going to cancel it due to rain, and he said no.
That was awesome.
And then, was it 2 years ago? He boycotted it because he had a sponsor for a hot dog, and they wouldn't let him eat that hot dog.
Yeah, so he did like his separate Zoom one.
Yeah, and you know what? That didn't work out well for him financially. So again, he needs to eat in front of people.
Yes.
I'm a Kobayashi guy myself.
Oh, they had battles back.
Remember, he had to like sneak in from the crowd.
Yep.
Don't get into.
Why do we
politics.
know this stuff?
Don't get into politics on the show. You're going to alienate half the audience.
Let's get back to more Grandy and Celtic stuff.
All right. So anyway, we were playing the clip of Grandy saying that it was a gap year, and then all year, condescendingly saying that it was a gap year, like sarcastically, because they were winning, and how only idiots and idiots in the media, and I don't even put myself up as someone he would be talking about, so it's not like I'm personally offended by it, because I don't think anyone looks at me as a sports media personality because I don't know anything. But like whatever, like invisible fake news media is all telling you that Celtics aren't any good, and we know better, don't we, as these very smart people. And then literally, quite literally, the moment they lost that game 7, and in a massive disappointment, a massive upset, lost to a 76ers team that not only was swept by the Knicks, but destroyed. I mean, you rarely see that in basketball. Just a real sweep. Some games like 20-point wins, like just a no-show, a complete no-show. Even Dallas took a game off the Celtics in that finals. He turns around and he goes, "Oh, well, I didn't mean it." And you're like, well, no. You just what is it about you? You can't just go, "Oh, whoops-a-daisies, this sucked. Next year should be better." There's no harm in saying that. But you can say, "Wow, that was really disappointing." Cedric doesn't have any problem saying that.
Do you know that was the second time in NBA history a team has won 2 games by 30 or more points and still lost the series?
The first time in team history they ever lost 3-1.
Right, so it's like they blew it.
Yes.
Sometimes teams blow it.
They were the worst Celtics team of all time, essentially up 3-1.
And then they're like, well, the expectations weren't much going into the season. Yeah, but then they played the season. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's why they play seasons, you morons. Of course. You don't just play the season and go, oh. And by the way, so like people go, oh, well, the Pistons, like the Pistons, they were upset kind of by Cleveland. And so you go, oh, well, you're disappointed. But if someone made the point, well, this is part of the maturation process for that Pistons team, at least you could go, oh, that makes sense. You certainly can't do that with a Celtics team that's won a championship.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's just whatever. It's intellectually dishonest. And it's more thinking that you can get away with it that's fascinating to me than anything else. Like thinking that that's a viable way of handling the situation and that people are going to go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like sometimes you just have to say, that sucked. And by the way, he's not on the team. All right, go ahead.
All right, so to double down on that, it sounds like the regular seasons don't matter, even though it mattered so much in Sean Grandy's final call. But this is Brian Scalabrini's slingshot idea that the Celtics shouldn't go for it all this year. Let's hear that sound.
It is an absolute miracle. That movie Miracle, this is more of a miracle that they got underneath the tax this year. It would be another miracle if we're good in the regular season and we're underneath the tax. We are loading up the slingshot to let it go. If we stay under the tax for one more year, then I know that Brad Stevens and Bill Chisholm and the Tatum Brown situation, whatever it is, that's going to lead to at least one, if not two championships. Like, this is the first time ever there's ever been an executive of the year that saved $360 million. Most of the time it's when Bob Myers adds Kevin Durant. If that's executive of the year, I think that I could be like, you know what? Kevin Durant would be a good fit here for the Warriors. That's not executive of the year stuff. What Brad did is setting you up for the future. It's the reason that I don't have to think. I believe in that crew. And at this point, they haven't proved me wrong.
Okay, so his idea is that the Executive of the Year is an award that proves that a championship is on the way.
Well, no, he thinks that they should not go over the tax again this year. So because in the NBA, if you go back-to-back years without going into the tax, you can spend money the following year. He thinks that they should do that again. Get under the tax this year. Play the entire season, get to the trade deadline, get under the tax, and basically waste Jaylen Brown and another year of Jason Tatum's prime, so that the following year they can slingshot their way to a championship.
Yeah, and it looks like, because Oklahoma City and San Antonio will be really bad in 2 years. So there's no way Brad Stevens is doing that.
I hate that take.
Well, no, you heard Brad Stevens after the season. I thought he was very refreshing. He basically said, look, I knew all along this team wasn't going to be very good. Like, not good enough. He said we weren't good against
3-11.
teams.
Yeah, 3-11 versus those teams.
Yeah, he's like, we weren't good against playoff teams. Like, it was basically fool's gold. He knew what Grandy didn't. And so it seems to me like if you say something like that, your intention's not to run it back, right? Like, wouldn't you say we're building something or something along those lines instead of saying we're not? Didn't he literally say we're not good enough? I think he did.
Yeah, and he said we're not good enough around the rim. Yeah, he mentioned multiple times.
Didn't get good enough looks.
Yeah, so, like, if you're saying we're not good enough, that doesn't sound to me like we're not good enough, so they're there. Like, we're not good enough, so just, we're not good.
He even said that they shoot too many threes at times. Bad threes. And I'm glad that he said that. But to waste a year.
Well, I want to ask you that, Joe. Like, can you think of a time where any franchise is like, let's not compete next year, but the year after that, and have that work out? Because I can't.
With two guys in their primes, too. And by the way, like, Brown's going to be 30, and then so you're 30, and Tatum's going to be 29, and so you're like, so you've just not wasted. I mean,
you've lost a year.
You've lost 2 years already of these guys.
And you're paying them 50-something million.
Right, and then so you're gonna intentionally waste another, and then shorten that window even further. That doesn't make any
sense. By slingshotting all these guys in. Hate it. And I get it. I get the idea. I know what the NBA is these days about the tax.
That it's financially possible to do, right.
The owner can just spend the money too, Fred, though.
Right, I understand.
Right?
That.
Couldn't that just happen? You build a good team and you try to win it. So I hate the take out on that. And then we'd get another year of, well, they already said that they're going to slingshot their way the next year. I can't do another season of that. So literally what happened this year was when they finally became contenders was when they were chokers. And I can't do that again this year where, they might get Giannis. They might do this. This is why I'm starting to wonder why Jaylen Brown might be, I don't want to use the word popping off, but he's crashed out, right? Has said things like this was his greatest season, which is a bad look. And I know Stephen A. has been on him about that. That's a bad look. But I'm almost wondering now, last night, Jaylen Brown was all NBA second team. Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham were first team. I would make the case that although Cade Cunningham was really good for Detroit this year, he missed a bunch of time with a bad injury. Jaylen Brown played all year, played 65 games. Doncic and Cunningham didn't. So you could make the case that Jaylen Brown was an all-NBA player this year.
Certainly, right.
But he didn't. He finished second. And what he said about it was, not a lot of people like me anyways. The media doesn't like me. Which, isn't that what Stephen A's been saying?
Yeah.
So, what is it? Does the team not want to go for it this year because they're trying to stay under the money? Does the media not like him? I mean, how the hell does a guy who played an entire season not get all NBA to two guys who didn't even play 65 games?
Want to know some interesting? I have the MVP votes up, and on Basketball Reference, they have the win shares per 48 minutes. So league average is .100. Jaylen Brown was 135. So he was slightly above league average. Other guys on the list, like SGA, was 323.
Oh, wow.
Jokic was 316. Wembanyama, 257. Doncic, 199. Cunningham, 174. And the guys behind him, Kawhi Leonard had a higher. It was 212. Donovan Mitchell, 169. So, Jaylen Brown did have a good year. But numerically, it's not about being liked. It's not about that.
He finished sixth.
Statistically, his numbers didn't hold up to those other guys.
You can say that he's a top 10 player in the league, but to me, you can make a case he was all NBA. He's not, and he feels it's because nobody likes him.
Right, which is an easier thing to think than I didn't deserve it.
But what is with that? Like, why does Stephen A say that? Why does he feel that way?
The thing about Stephen A saying that he has stuff on Brown and he should be careful, what I would say is, well, why aren't you reporting it? Like, how much information do you hold back on a regular basis? Like, if you do have all this stuff on Jaylen Brown that would fascinate everyone about how the team doesn't like him, why wouldn't you report that the team doesn't like him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be a nice story to have. Like, why would you hold that in the chamber to threaten someone?
He's done it before. Remember he did it to Durant?
No.
Durant said something about Stephen A, and Stephen A did the exact same thing, like, be careful what you're doing. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like...
It's not ammo.
Yeah, like, why aren't you just reporting it? Like, if you are this big reporter that has all these reports, why are you not reporting them? Like, why am I watching? Like, I like Stephen A. Smith, and I think that the notion that Brown put up that he didn't have to fight for anything is ridiculous. I mean, Stephen A's had to do a lot in his career to make it this far. But the thing is that, well, if you have all this cool information, like, it would be nice to hear it instead of just having you dance around threatening to say it. Just say it. If it's not gonna get you sued, say it. If the Celtics don't like him, I would like to know that. I think Celtics fans should hear that. Then it will make sense. By the way, it certainly doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility that they're thinking about getting rid of him, as I'm sure you would agree. At least that's not a preposterous notion.
Well, you're going to keep them together because they got a slingshot.
Yeah.
Maybe he's hearing that they're going to move on from him and not slingshot next year. I hate that term. I don't know why Scal said that.
Nothing that Stevens has said in this offseason, which is, anything that he said publicly this offseason gives me no pause to think that he is not prepared to try to make this team better next year. I mean, he said they're not good enough. That's not something you say. You don't say it in that way when you just intend to not change anything. Now, I'm not saying he's going to move Brown, but he's going to try to do something. Because it's certainly not, you would say, oh, we're working towards something. We're growing. This was, a year where, we didn't have Jason and He said we weren't good against playoff teams. We weren't good enough. We're not a good enough team. There you go. That's all you need to know. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Jaylen Brown was named to the All-NBA second team last night. Detroit's Cade Cunningham beat him out for the last spot on the first team. For Brown, this was his second time earning All-NBA honors. Tonight in the NBA, the Knicks will try to earn a trip to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. They'll take their 3-0 series lead into Cleveland tonight against the Cavs. The Red Sox enter the weekend looking to ride the momentum of their sweep in Kansas City, but instead they got swept by the Twins. The Twins are now 5-1 against the Red Sox and 21-26 against everybody else. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Does your home need a new roof? Get a free estimate today from Connell Roofing, the leading Massachusetts roofing company. Book your estimate today. Head to ConnellRoofing.com now.
going to the movie theater and how expensive it is these days.
It's tough. I was going to take my kids to see the little Star Wars movie. And you're like, do I want to spend $80 to go see a film?
$80?
You buy the tickets, you buy the popcorn. It adds up.
Yeah, because I take my daughter and I think we went to like 35 movies last year, and they were all really good. That's
of course,
the thing.
yeah.
Because we like that movie theater in Chestnut Hill. She likes the food there. And it's, rather than like going out to dinner and just staring at each other, because I see her all the time, sometimes it's nice to go to a movie. And she doesn't look at her phone. It's like long form entertainment, which is a little scary that I'm just looking for my kids to consume anything, like even a sitcom, like just consume something that's over like a minute long. And so there is some value I feel to like watching an hour and a half, 2 hour movie. At least you've seen a narrative play out, regardless of how
Even if
stupid
it's bad,
it is.
it gives you something to talk about.
Right. Like what did you think about it? Like, what did you think about this? Like, there is a value in that. And I like it too, because they have that soda machine.
Oh,
that is
Freestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we were at Verizon yesterday, we went over to Five Guys so Milo could get something to eat. And they had one of those magical soda machines where you can just, the combinations are infinite.
Like raspberry, lime, diet, Dr. Pepper.
You could go Minute Maid, strawberry, lemonade. Oh, yeah.
And don't let anyone look at you funny when you're doing it, because you're living life. You're letting them know. I've gone on dates to that movie theater and disgusted the woman that I was with on several occasions by whipping it out. By going back to the soda machine 3 times during the film.
That's what the movie's about, right? Popcorn and soda.
And then I have to pee constantly, and so I'm leaving for that too. So I see about 10 minutes of the movie.
I love it over there. You got a Frank Pepe's, a Cheesecake Factory. Chef Dave's, I like. Great little spot over there.
But a lot of times people think that you can get what is the steakhouse in there?
Capitol Grill?
No. The Italian one, the chain.
Davio's?
Davio's. People think you can order Davio's into the movie theater, and that's not the case. I hate to bust bubbles, but people think you can just walk in there and get a steak. And I think, I don't know how the condition that steak's going to be in by the time it gets to you. They're not moving with great efficiency over there.
Steve DeFubo should think about that, right? Don't you think about like
an upscale Chunkies?
Yeah. Yes.
They could call it that.
That's a New
Chunkies,
Hampshire,
but nicer.
New Hampshire.
I just think it's funny the name Chunkies.
Yeah,
It's like
Chunkies was a New Hampshire movie theater.
It's like you sit down and eat dinner, but watch a movie.
Yeah. Was there a Chuck E. Cheese there? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's in my brain.
I should note too, like I'm a big sneak your drinks in, so like I've taught my kids that. So even with that, you still end up with a pretty hefty bill by the end of the day.
And I would question how much they're going to call you out walking into the theater if they see the drinks.
I don't think they really care.
Yeah,
but there's going to be one vigilant teen who's like, "Excuse me."
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to take the 34E bus to the Dedham movie theater, which is now Legacy Place, and we'd slip the guy a $1 bill. He'd let us in. I'd hang out there all day long.
It's a good thing you took the bus, because if you try to park there,
well,
that's an adventure.
Actually, no. The old, if you remember the old Dedham theater, now it's Legacy Place, but it was just parking. That's it. And I used to do donuts in there. That's where I learned how to drive.
It's like the Woburn one. The Woburn parking lot is so big.
Still
at the movie
going.
theater, they can put a carnival in there and still keep the movie theater running.
That's where I met Fred's kid. Did a card show over there.
Yeah.
He's wheeling and dealing.
Oh, he's wheeling and dealing.
He's doing all right.
He's got a kid with him who's real smart, so he knows this kid. He's got someone to.
But that's a good activity though. And the one thing I see the most is it's dads and kids, and they're wheeling and dealing with each other. And like the dad might make a little money, but then he gives the rest some of the kid. You know what I mean? It's a nice good little deal.
I don't have the patience to sit there all day, but I told you that he pulled a $3,000 downtown, 1 of 10.
It's a big boy.
He did that yesterday. Very rare that he'll call me excited. It's usually something that happened in baseball that I didn't see, or it's a card.
A card he pulled.
So it was a very rare experience yesterday where he actually called and went, "Dad, Dad." And I was like, oh, something good happened. This is very rare.
This is what I mean by the bonding experience.
Well, I have such an advantage over his mother on birthdays because, like, I know what to get him and she doesn't. So, like, we went together on an iPhone, but then I was able to come in with, the optics box and then the guaranteed downtown thing that I gave him. which is almost unfair to Stephanie because she doesn't know these things.
Yeah, downtown is a certain parallel that you get in a car that's numbered, and because there's so little of them, they're high value, and can be worth as much as $10,000.
Well, I pulled it wasn't a downtown, but I pulled that $5,000 J.J. McCarthy, and people said, you should sit on it, you should sit on it.
No. Freddie T sold that right away.
I mean, listen, if you got an acumen.
That kid stinks.
Now, Wemby, on the other hand.
Yes, he does sing.
Wemby, you got him early and you sat on it. Oh boy. You're doing very, very well.
Well, but there was a bit of a hint that he'd be okay. You know, his size. All right, look. It's Memorial Day. Everyone's thinking about chilling out. You're listening to the radio. You don't want to be bothered. Hardy's not here. Wallach's not here. They're not here to get in the way. It's time to shoot the breeze. It's like sitting on a porch in a rocking chair. You call in 617-779-0985. Joe's here. Michael Hurley's here. Talk to any of us about anything. Don't get your socks all ruffled. Cool out. Start the day. Loaded phone lines. 617-779-0985. The very labor-intensive, brilliant Shooting the Breeze segment on the way.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right.
Hub headlines.
The Red Sox are now closer to having the worst record in baseball than they are to the third wild card spot. That's after the Twins came to town and swept the Red Sox in a 3-game set at Fenway Park. Red Sox now 3.5 games out of that wild card spot and just 3 games up on the Angels and Rockies, who are the worst teams in baseball. Red Sox opening a 3-game set tomorrow against the Braves at Fenway with Chris Sale scheduled to start for Atlanta. Celtics star Jaylen Brown was named to the All-NBA second team last night. Brown received 30 fewer voting points than Detroit's Cade Cunningham, who grabbed the last spot on the All-NBA first team, along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, and Luka Doncic. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. Reach your health and weight goals with Reclaim by Awaken 180, a 10-week medication-free plan with weekly results and a finish line. Visit Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Deep three, violent two-hand slam.
98.5 Sports Hub. Why do people listen to Touch and Hurley?
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Everyone all agitated by playing Public Enemy. Everyone's all agitated. This is Memorial Day, and we are Toucher and Hardy, but Joe Murray and Michael Hurley are here today because it is the holiday. You can watch us on YouTube, on 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Subscribe to that. And since it is the holiday, it is time to everyone to sit back, cool out, call 617-779-0985, and it's time to...
Same old breeze it was back then.
That was just one of them.
Yeah, baby. It's time to shoot the breeze. 617-779-0985. Call in. It's like we're like the city's front porch. Even if you're listening online from parts unknown, you just call in and we just have a nice convo. Bob, go ahead, Bob.
We bought our first new car 10 years ago, and it came with Sirius, and we kept it going for about 5 years, and then COVID, unfortunately, had to cut back. I don't have Sirius anymore, Fred. So Eddie Trunk, I know you're a big fan of his. You bring the genius of Eddie Trunk to this show. Now, does his musical knowledge end in like 1991?
Yes, 100%. Now, if Now, it's funny that you say that. Eddie Trunk is on from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. He's not on overnight. He's on from 3 to 5 in the afternoon on Sirius, which ostensibly could reach the world. And he focuses on 70s and 80s hard rock and heavy metal. So basically, if you grew up around a high school and you want to know what the guys that dropped out when they were 15 are doing, they are calling into the Eddie Trunk Show about bands like Y&T. But now I'll tell you this, Bob, he supports artists like Youngblood. Now, he might not like them, but he does like that they're carrying the mantle of rock into the next generation. Do you understand, Bob?
He's obsessed with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and while there are artists like Dusty Springfield who had one good song and were in, and a great band like Alice in Chains, who their first album came out in 1990, and they're still not in for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he doesn't care for...
the mantle. He doesn't take up the flag for bands like that, right? It's only the...
No, and not a fan of a black artist, no question. Who are the Wu-Tang Clan, he will say. But he is a fan of Blaze Bayley, who sang on 2 Iron Maiden albums, was left off the Iron Maiden list when they got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he successfully campaigned and got Blaze Bayley in. That's fine.
It's shooting the breeze.
When he's in heaven, you'll know. It's because of the Blaze Bayley situation. 617-779-0985 as we shoot the breeze.
Zoe and I have been shooting the here. 617.
Oh, that's one of the 17 times Tangway swore in his 2-year career here at the Sports Hub. Dave, go ahead.
Freddie T, baby. I see somebody must have left the back door open because Hurley's back. So my question is, shouldn't Hurley have to run laps or do push-ups or something for choosing Rich over Fred? Come on now.
Yes, it was a huge slap in the face, And believe me, he's being punished off air. He's being put through his paces.
The lashings are starting to take their toll.
And it was really a situation. It was an either or at that point. I mean, Hurley was giving up an awful lot to go over there. There was a lot of opportunities for him that he was turning his back on, and I've resented it since.
It's been awkward.
I've kept Shirley. Hurley knows I have a distaste for him, and thank you for reading through that, because we are going through that right now as we speak. It's very uncomfortable between the two of us. No, in all seriousness, Hurley took a job. He should have taken the job. It was smart. It didn't work out, and I'm glad to have.
No. You get it right. It was a gap year.
It was a gap year.
Everyone knew that would be a gap year. Nothing didn't work out.
Well, I had a feeling it'd be a gap year, but it turned out to be a gap year. But it's no. Hurley and I are fine.
What was he about philosophy, Italians, Uncle Eckley?
Got no problem taking a guy taking a job for more money and more opportunity. That you got to do it if you got to do it. Now, if it's like a guest and they did that, then I might be like, it's their decision. But maybe I wouldn't have them on again. Ben, go ahead.
Howdy, gents. I was going to talk about the Celtics and how I think they're going to go back, but in the vibe of shooting the breeze, I wanted to ask y'all. I wanted to say that's exactly what I get. I get a raspberry lime Diet Dr. Pepper. What's the favorite soda of the station?
All right. If you are encountered, Joseph and Michael, if you are encountered with one of these amazing feats of technology where there's a limitless amount of combinations you can do for soda, what do you do?
I don't drink soda anymore.
Jesus Christ.
I've done this. I go with the Minute Maid. My favorite drink is an Arnold Palmer. What I would do instead is I would add all the Minute Maid flavors. I want lemonade. I want the strawberry lemonade. I want the pink lemonade.
So it tastes like vomit. So it's like if you had ate a bunch of things over the course of the day and threw them all up.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
I kind of panic when I have that many decisions to make. Like, it's like trying to pick a movie and you don't have anything in mind and you're just scrolling.
It's like Spotify.
Yeah.
Like when every song ever released is on there.
Is in my hand. Yeah, but I think I'll start with the Dr. Pepper and end up with like something you can't buy, like cherry vanilla or whatever they're offering on the Dr. Pepper range.
Well, you may remember this in the 90s, OK Soda.
Yes.
OK Soda was actually all the sodas combined.
Really?
You had to call the phone number to find out what the flavors were, and that's what they were.
1-800-I-FEEL-OK
Yeah,
might have been the number.
Exactly what it was.
And it's just, I like the name OK. I'm surprised
I
that
loved
it
it.
didn't.
I drank that stuff in the 90s.
I don't doubt that it was good, but I just like the branding of it as being okay.
Well, they had like really boring drawings on the label.
Yeah, it just sounds like everything was pretty boring with that, except for the flavors, which were very bold.
It was all the Coca-Cola flavors. Yes, because they had like Surge, they had everything. Tab, worst drink I've ever had.
Yeah, Tab was directed at anorexic women. Now, you'll be disappointed, but I will go Cherry Coke Zero, and you say, well, they make that, but they don't, because the Coke Zero is Coke Zero, but the cherry has calories in it, so you are putting like almost a maraschino into the Coke Zero. I understand it sounds very boring, but I assure you it's not.
It's like a flavor shot.
Yes. You think it's boring, but you're a stupid idiot because it's not. Riz, go ahead, Riz. Everyone loves Riz.
Fellas? First and foremost, shout out to the Twitch friend. You already know. Murray, Fred, good to see y'all. My boy Hurley, welcome back home, man. Seriously.
Thank you.
No, thank you. But my question is for you, Hurley. I could be wrong. But I could have sworn it was you who, I believe, used to wrestle their principal shirtless. Greco Saturdays.
Thank you, Riz. So Hurley, thank you. I will set it up from here. I appreciate that, Riz. So Hurley,
every time I've been on this station, it comes up
because it's fantastic. Yeah. So Hurley has a true story of being in high school that you need to hear. And this is the point of shooting the breeze, is that it gives him a forum of which to do this. Thank you, Riz. The floor is yours, Michael.
It really just was a open secret in high school. It wasn't something that was hidden or unknown. It was if you had Saturday detention, which I didn't personally, but it was well known. If you had Saturday detention, there was a good chance you'd end up wrestling the vice principal shirtless in the library.
Yes. Okay, so you go into, it's a breakfast club situation. You get Saturday detention. The vice principal, was he the wrestling coach?
We did not have wrestling at my school, which will remain unnamed.
Okay, interesting. Well, no one could find out.
No.
So if only they'd interview, if they'd invent a search engine. So you go in there, and now how does he get you to take your shirt off and wrestle him?
I don't know if it's a good question. I know he was shirtless. Were the kids shirtless? I'm not sure. But I think what it was, and this is a psychology thing. This might be like deeper than shooting the breeze, so I apologize. But like,
whoa! First of all, let me just tell you, there's no guardrails.
All right, I'm just saying.
The breeze. Feel free. Go ahead.
It was a lot of like football players, hot kids that were used to some physical contact after school, so it wasn't totally bizarre.
Well, I don't think it's like pedophile behavior. It's just more bizarre than anything else.
Yeah. So I guess that's what it was. Maybe it was you won't have to sweep the hallways if you wrestle.
It's like, if you can pin me, I will let you. So maybe it was like he was showing his physical dominance over the children.
Maybe. Like I said, I didn't experience it personally, but it wasn't like, oh, did you hear? It was an open.
Was this guy's name Mr. Dunn?
No.
I only ask. Remember Don Bosco? Don Bosco was a tech school in Boston. It closed, so when all the kids left, they came into my high school, and we had a guy named Mr. Dunn who would not take his shirt off, but would challenge us around detention and stuff like that.
Weird.
Arm wrestling, things of that degree.
Things you could get away with at a certain era that you no longer can.
That was Catholic school before the 2000s.
Well, one thing that seems to exist is that if anyone at any school had an attractive female teacher, there was rumors of her having torrid affairs with male students.
Yes, and it was actually did happen. Many of it happened in my school too.
Well, see, I call into question. They say it happened at my school, and I don't, and with the kid, and I don't believe it for 1 second. I don't think it's true. I just think she was young and attractive, and so someone just pointed to like a young and attractive boy at the school and went, they're having an affair. And I have a friend who goes, I swear to God, I was in an office like when they talked about it. And I'm like, he still says it. And I'm like, I don't believe you. It's too convenient. And if you were like a hot teacher, especially a hot teacher, a hot young woman, why the hell would you want to go to jail for having sex with a young man? You could go out and have sex with whoever you want. Like if it was like some, lady missing a bunch of stuff, like with her teeth rotting out, with nothing to lose, that makes more sense. But it's always the attractive young teacher. And I realize that there's news stories and that they're salacious because it's every kid's fantasy. Even though, now as an adult, you look back and go, that's not good for anyone. But seriously, I don't believe it. I would do more research, Joseph. I don't. Okay. We got to see if that's true or not. And come back to me, please. I need to know. Because there's a lot of pornography based on female professor and young college student, because, then it's legal.
The other is stepbrother, stepsister. What is up with that?
I don't know, but I'm like all like free speech. I'm not positive that should be legal because you're really, because, they're just saying step. The scenario doesn't seem like that's it at all. It seems like you're encouraging behavior that's really not good. Yeah, I'm on the same page with you with that, my friend. Nick, go ahead.
All right, I don't want to butcher this, so I want to make sure I get it right. You can only have one for the rest of your life: steak and cheese, a chicken parm sub, or an Italian sub. I'll leave it at that. So,
an Italian sub is the last choice? Okay, go ahead.
Chicken parm. Because you got to, first thing about a chicken parm is you do have to find a good place to get a chicken parm. But it would.
You stole that from Wiggins.
That's why I said it.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes, I would be chicken parm.
I get like one of those per year, so I'm fine with either one.
I'm not positive I've ever had a chicken parm sandwich. Steak and cheese I can give or take. Italian sub.
Well, you're not a cheese guy.
No, but if you can find a place with like a legitimately like if I'm somewhere and they go, this Italian sub is fantastic, there's no way I'm not getting it. The steak and cheese, I've gotten it from like Pat's and like
Carl's
Geno's and
street.
stuff.
Oh boy, that's really good.
Where's Carl's?
Right on. Right near Moody.
Oh, that's a special sub.
Carl's is a.
I had Carl's last night.
Oh yeah.
See, but that's a nighttime thing. Like I don't know if I could ingest that at 10 or 30 in the morning.
No, you would put if you wanted to go to bed. That is your medicine right there.
Yeah. All right, Andy, we're shooting the breeze here. It's all very exciting. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. It's Memorial Day. It's really a tribute to the country. Andy, go ahead.
Well, I love the country myself. I think we got a little hot and heavy on that last one. I was just going to try to bring it back to the breeze. And I've been thinking about the entropy of the universe lately and how mass doesn't equal entropy, and we put all these black holes and dark matter, and it still doesn't add up. I'm like, where's the missing equation, man? I think I figured it out. Each and every individual on this planet is its own black hole. We're just like them. We can't see past the skin on our face. Nobody knows what's out inside of any other person except ourselves. It's crazy, man, but it adds up. We are the universe.
All right, just put on a black light and let's take some California sunshine and just think about it. That's what shooting the breeze is all
What the hell
about.
was that?
Well,
You don't know. It's shooting the breeze. It's so far over your head.
you guys ever listen or read The Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan?
No.
Every now and then when I need to ground myself, you just look it up on YouTube and it's like, see that tiny speck right there? That's everything that's ever existed ever in the universe. And you're like, damn, we're all little meaningless little ants.
But then you knew Sagan was knee deep in it because he had those matinee idol looks.
He was a charmer.
Yeah. What it was like eons and eons. All right. Rob, go ahead.
First of all, the chicken parm is the worst answer because you can have chicken parmesan with a piece of bread and simulate that sandwich without giving up one of the other two. The Italian is the correct answer.
Well, thank you, Rob.
When it comes, what?
I said thank you. I thank you because I said Italian sub, and now I feel smart.
Don't interrupt me. The other thing is the sodas. You have to go with the same bottler when you're going to mix them. Like you can mix Pepsi and Mountain Dew, same manufacturer. You can't mix Mountain Dew and Coke. That's the primary thing you have to remember.
You could get an aneurysm because they're not meant to be mixed together. Excellent point.
You could stroke out. Ask Nick.
I wish I would. But Nick, obviously, would it be funny today if he, again, lost consciousness and said in his own feces?
Was it this date or Memorial Day?
Show is much better today, by the way. I don't know who isn't there, but it sounds good. Nice job, guys.
It's Wallach. It's Wallach's absence. All right, very good. Thank you. Do you want to play something to let us know that this has ended? Please.
Shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
Shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze.
Eddie Trump likes it.
Shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze, shooting the breeze.
All right, now you can now die. You two can now go. And you can, like, if you die, if you're on your deathbed today, you can look at your families and you can say, it was worth it. I have gotten to shoot the breeze.
Shooting the breeze again. Same old breeze it was back then.
Any excuse for Joe to show those pipes, baby. That's right in his wheelhouse, right there in that era.
I'm glad that the caller said that Allison Chain should be in the Hall of Fame. They should.
I'm surprised they're not. They're running out of bands.
Yeah, who's a band anymore?
Exactly. It's like if you're the Foo Fighters and you can't show up, there's a big hole.
But like, how's Jerry Cantrell not? And I don't know. I love Jerry more than Lane.
I can do you a favor right now for the rest of your day. Did you know that Jerry Cantrell at one point was trying to make a comedy series, and that the spec episodes are up on YouTube, and it's called Dad Band. And so it's about these guys that are forming a band in the garage. Jerry Cantrell plays like the guy's plumber that happens to play guitar, but he plays bass in the band. And it's about these guys. A couple of them are divorced. It's called Dad Band. Now, is it funny? The answer to that is a resounding no.
No.
But it is Jerry Cantrell, written by Jerry Cantrell in a sitcom-like format.
I love that.
It's called Dad Band.
I think Primus Jerry was a race car driver was about Jerry because he was racing a car. Jerry Cantrell. Jerry Cantrell also in Jerry Maguire when he's like, all I know, man, is I got a lot of balls.
Do you remember how funny that band was? Like they used to like, especially the drummer, like they would be on
Sean
MTV
Kinney.
and they were, they were like, they used to be like super funny.
And Lane, super funny.
Well, if you ever read Mark Lanigan's book, Lane Staley was shooting so much speed, like so much cocaine at one point. He was shooting cocaine too, that he, for like 2 days, sat under his toilet, like on his stomach, with his face under the toilet, looking, talking to the bugs in the wall. Like he was, and then Lanigan comes in and he goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, like, Tom's saying this stuff to me and he's talking about the bugs in the wall.
Some of the songs are about him talking to bugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll have to remember which one it was. Mark Lanigan, though, was on the name of the song is called Long Gone Day, Mad Season, which was
a very uplifting album.
If you listen to that song, Godsmack stole it. They used Voodoo, but the name of the song was Long Gone Day, Mark Lanigan and Lane Staley.
Voodoo is only stolen from the dark arts.
Well,
whatever dark lord gave them that idea.
Play the beginning of Long Gone Day and tell me that's
all
not
right.
Voodoo.
When we come back, we can do that. But everyone's a little riled up because they just shot the breeze, and everyone needs to cool down.
They got me going.
Everyone needs to cool out. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Says like Sully Erna from Godsmack says he got it from like some like tribal thing or something like that. Mark Lanigan was the singer of Screaming Trees, and he was in Queens of the Stone Age and stuff. He's got 2 books. One is an autobiography, and the other one I thought was his autobiography, but it's not. He died in a right before he died, he was in an Irish hospital, and he had been a huge heroin addict, and he was about to die. And he talks about that experience, and it's just awful. And he said he had one more place he could shoot up. It was between 2 toes.
Oof.
He had one more place where he could shoot up, and he was like saving it. So they were like trying to put medicine in him, and they couldn't find any veins because they were all like collapsed or whatever the hell happens when you're an IV drug user. And he wouldn't tell him about the place in between his toes because he wanted, if he wanted to kill himself, he wanted to take a hot shot and kill himself. And that was like the thing keeping him through that. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. I just wanted to give you that little.
You got to give, you know.
Yeah, I just wanted, if you're going to talk about music, let's make it the most depressing thing ever. All right, so Joseph, Doug Kyde, who we love from the Boston Herald, he, along with Andrew Callahan, who's a weekly guest here on this radio station and on this very radio show, he of the 2 Stats and 1 Lie. They cover the Patriots very well. And the Patriots, look, any way you slice it, Will Campbell was not good, certainly in the playoffs. He was historically bad. Anyway, Callahan watched the All-22, and then he started reversing course. And I think he's watched too much film. Sometimes things are just the way they are. But here we are. The whole season, there was a thought that I at least thought was interesting, that if they do take an offensive tackle in the first round, you've got a guy in the building. And once that guy's in the building, anything goes. Like, if they perform, they perform. And so what is Doug Kyde saying there, Joseph?
Doug Kyde also does a podcast with Michael Hurley.
Yeah.
Called Patch Chat. So maybe you
That's
can...
a competitor. Maybe we stop talking about that.
Yeah, baby. We're taking you down.
You didn't hear that. Go ahead.
Looking at this here, though, they were talking about Will Campbell and his MCL injury and how he was worse after, and talked about his true pass sets and his grade. He was the 27th ranked pass blocker, and his pass blocking efficiency was a 93.9, which was 46th. Can you explain some of these numbers to me, Mike?
I can't.
Okay.
I wish I had talked to Doug and been like, all right, what's the distilled version? Because I see the numbers. I think the ultimate conclusion was he may be a guard, and that's okay. That seemed to be the message.
Yes, that's the first time I have seen somebody that is a beat writer for the New England Patriots suggest the fact that he is a guard, since they've been so adamant about him being a left tackle. They also drafted a left tackle this year. I'm trying to get the Limo going, but
it's Lomu though.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's just not working. I tried. But now they are looking at what his path could potentially be. And they have compared his path to one Tyler Smith, who was a tackle. Thank you for the Tyron. And he moved to guard. And after some of these numbers and the same trajectory, he is indicating that maybe, just maybe, Will Campbell could be a guard. And I think we all know that, right?
Well, yeah. So there's been people around the NFL that said, sure, he could be a pretty good left tackle, but he could be a all-pro guard. So that's always been the book on him, correct? At least I've had 10 people tell me that, is that based on his size and his playing style, sure, he was a very, very, very good left tackle in college in a very good program. And there is a way that he could become a pretty good left tackle. But if you put him in a guard, almost immediately he projects to be one of the very best.
Correct. And Doug did write in here that with Morgan Moses potentially 35 and on his way out, Lomu would go to right tackle, and he would need to be beat out by a Marcus Bryant or a Crownover to truly make the move to left guard or guard in general. I think that they feel he's a tackle. I think the knee injury was big last year. He did not have surgery. I sometimes like to think about getting surgery. I'm the first guy who says get surgery.
Right.
Even Drake May's shoulder, I'm still worried about, but I'm going to his celebrity softball game this weekend, and I'm going to get a good look at his arm.
I'm sure he'll be hucking it all over the place.
I can't wait to. I mean, he was hucking footballs out of the stands for the Charlotte Hornets at a game, so I'm going to get a good look at his shoulder, and I'm going to ask him.
Where's that at?
That will be at Polar Park in Worcester, Massachusetts. I will be there. It'll be fun.
You should be participating.
I'll be on the field.
Okay.
I have a credential. I just don't know if I can play.
They didn't ask you to play?
Well, we'll find out when I get there. I'm going to go early.
Bring your mitt.
I have it in my car.
Because Milan Lucic used to have that.
Yeah.
Celebrity softball game that I used to play in.
Is that in Lowell?
It was in Lowell, and I'll tell you that the star power on that field was really something to behold. But then you could have your family in, and they could see Milan Lucic with his shirt off, and then everyone could know what a real man looks like. And your kids could compare you to him and be like, oh, it's almost like there's another kind of human out there. And my father's not him.
Where's Lucic playing now? It's
overseas.
Like England.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah,
recently.
I think he's like in England.
Beating up guys in beer league, basically.
Yeah, I guess the English Hockey League, travel is no fun. I know someone who played over there. Yeah, a lot of drinking, a lot of bus travel.
By the way, Fred, you used to be interested in my men's sports escapades.
Yeah, you're an
I still play and won the championship at Little Asher Park last year. Finally, after all these years, brought home the trophy.
Okay, so you play fast pitch baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, and now what level did you stop playing baseball at?
High school.
Okay.
I didn't make my high school team because I tried it for tennis at the same time, and the baseball coach found out. That was it for me.
Yeah, you can't
So I played Babe Ruth up until 15.
Okay, so
and then picked up men's league when I was like 20.
How hard? But there's got to be guys that played in college in that league.
In this one slowed down. I played in some good leagues where there were some good players.
Yeah, so if you, I don't care, whatever. I mean, now to pitch in college, you're throwing at least in the high 80s. So you would face guys throwing in the high 80s.
Oh yeah, in my 20s, yeah.
And they didn't have, I would imagine, an incredible amount of control, or they wouldn't be in a men's league game.
That's the tough part about it. Is like you're like, I might get hit in the neck right now.
Yeah, so I would rather face a guy that was pitching in college than a guy that flamed out in college, because the reason probably is his lack of control.
Right.
His lack of command.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even so much the fastball that I'm concerned about. Having to catch my son, it's the movement on a slider. If you can throw a slider in the low 80s, or even if they're even better, they can throw in the mid 80s. But say my son throws like an 83 mile an hour slider, 82 mile an hour slider. I don't like that. I can't judge the break, and I don't like catching it, like with a catcher's mitt on, standing, not even crouching. And now if you give me no way to protect myself, nothing on my hand, I really don't like that, especially with it breaking in on me. Or even worse is if I guess it's lefty on lefty or righty on righty, and it looks like it's coming right at my head and it breaks down. I don't like that.
Yeah,
so I'm impressed that you did that.
We had a kid in our league last year. He was like 31, but he was like way too good for our league, and he had a upper 80s fastball, and he just had a slider which, by high baseball standards was probably not that good, but for our standards it was like, damn. When he throws that down and away, you're just dead.
Yeah,
but down and away is better than inside.
So you could catch up with with a high 80s fastball?
Maybe.
It's pretty impressive, Mr. Hurley.
I had a walk that day. I did draw a walk.
I haven't played baseball in a long time, but I would feel that after playing softball for so many years, I feel like the ball size would be different. Like actually seeing the ball would be harder.
Oh, it's a tremendous difference.
I would just say any level of being impressed. If you showed up at one of our games, it would go away immediately. You'd be like, oh, okay. Those are just a bunch of guys who can't quit.
I'd feel too much pressure, though, because did they take it seriously?
It's the perfect amount of seriously enough to get you out of bed in the morning to go do it, but not too seriously where you're getting into fights and yelling at people. And all
yeah,
that.
that's the beer.
I hate that.
Softball league.
Yeah.
So there's a JCC softball league. Don't worry about it. You didn't hear it from me. And they have asked me, it's been years, but there was a couple occasions where they asked me to play. But then I was given the heads up that their stats kept,
Oh.
And there are guys that are really into
I
it.
feel like the JCC league would be pretty competitive.
And I'm not stepping into that situation. I'm not getting out there, and then if I'm playing left field and I misplay some ball and it gets behind me, then I'm gonna have 10 guys screaming at me. I don't need that in my life.
I played an all Jewish high school, Maimonides. They were out of Newton, and boy, could they play, especially basketball.
You're saying the Jews go to baseball?
They were well,
Hammer and Hank
as a religion. Yeah, Mr. Greenberg. Yes, absolutely.
He was very good.
Yes. All right. So
last thing on this. Right? This is a take. All right, quick take. Matt Stafford getting this contract. Right, he's making $60 million. 2 years, $105 million. Okay. What's Drake May going to get? Think about this. Drake May's 5th-year option is $45 million. They're going to have to eat those years, right? They're going to have to get to Drake May early. So if you're thinking about it, if he's getting 60, Stafford, Drake May has a chance to get, 4 years, $250 million at some point for an extension? He might be making, when the salary cap keeps going up, Drake May could make somewhere between $75 million a year. And this is off, this is just
so
off.
Prescott's making 60, right?
Yep. And
Okay.
Jordan Love just got 55.
Okay.
What about if Mahomes comes back?
He's making 45, which is a deal now.
That's what I'm saying. What if he gets back?
So you have to do that with Drake May.
Exactly.
Because when Mahomes signed that, everyone was like, what? And now he's the 15th highest paid quarterback?
Right. So the idea is the quicker you can get the May deal done, the sooner it becomes a bargain.
And it's after 26, I believe, is the option. So after this year, they could go to him with an extension or an option. But even that, he got 36 guaranteed, Drake May. I think these guys get guaranteed money. The other thing is Caleb Williams will get more money than Drake May because he was the number 1 overall pick. All I'm saying is the Patriots are really going to pay a quarterback $70 million a year and pay a left tackle if it is Will Campbell and Christian Gonzalez? How the hell are they going to afford all these? Will they pay all these guys, I guess is where I'm going with it.
Well, the good news is you won't have to pay Campbell. So you're not saddled with that premium left tackle.
But then you're going to have to pass on his 5th-year option for that reason, probably, which may risk you losing him a year early.
Yep.
But what's more valuable, a decent tackle, like say you're the 17th best left tackle, or the 3rd best guard? I still think it's the tackle.
I would rather
it's
the
so
tackle.
hard. It's so hard to replicate that.
Okay, so let's just call it $65 million for May. What does a left tackle get? 30, 20?
In a couple of years.
What's Christian Gonzalez going to get? 40? Like, think about what these guys are getting.
Because Gonzalez is going to set the market, and then May will set the market. So, yeah, that's what you're looking at.
There's 7 people making $25 million or more at left tackle.
At left tackle.
And that's now. So fast forward a few years.
Well, listen, you think they whiffed on the Campbell pick, but it turns out that they have actually quite a bargain.
Oh, maybe.
They're never going to have to pay him.
It's like, the 4th overall pick, a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so your point is that maybe you move him to guard now, and then that lowers the price. Well, I always thought that, and I understand what you're saying, Hurley, is that obviously left tackle is a premium position and guard isn't, and even like a middle of the road left tackle that's serviceable and doesn't cost you is more valuable than like a Pro Bowl guard. But if you're going to be a below average left tackle and you can turn him into an all pro guard, it works both ways. Is that you're set there now for the next 10 years, and then you also don't have to pay that premium. So the quicker you move them, the quicker you're out of that premium, because you have to pay Gonzalez. Unless there's some people of the mind that you don't, and that you could move them. But I think that if you're not drafting and developing and keeping players, that's a bit of a slippery slope to get on.
Can't you just do what the Jets did if you end up needing to move him with Sauce Gardner? Like, you can pay him and trade him and get first-round picks.
You got him to sign a contract that allows you to do that, which is one thing I'll give Muji. Well, Muji didn't do that contract. Muji did do that contract. I'll give him that is that he made it so like it was backloaded that he was given the opportunity to move him.
I don't think Gonzalez would protest that. I don't think he loves it here.
No, I don't think he'd protest it either. So yes, worst case scenario, you get 2 first-round picks for him. Yeah. Well, I mean, in May you don't have an option, I mean, you got to pay May.
And the Jets don't have a quarterback. So they signed Wilson and Gardner. Traded
Well, they had
Gardner.
Zach Wilson at the time, didn't they?
Yeah, but
I don't think he was out at that point.
No, he was out.
Oh, at that point?
Do you
when they
think
signed
the
him?
Patriots
Yes.
are going to pay all these guys premium money?
I think they have to pay May. There's no option. There's zero option. There's just not a way that you can get out of it. There's no.
What if you offered him a little real estate, a little DM10?
I know where he
therapy
lives.
Center.
I know one of his neighbors. You want to know where he lives?
Yeah, put his address, please.
Well, he lives in Westwood, and he lives in a very humble home.
Nice.
Kid's saving his money. Good kid.
Westwood's very expensive.
Eh.
So Lambert's out there.
Is it?
Newton's, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it depends what side of Newton. It depends on what kind of real estate. You have a shared wall like is required if you have a divorce. You need to. The man must move into a shared wall dwelling, which I have honored. It's part of the legal system in Massachusetts. Once you're divorced, the man needs to have a shared wall, and I did that. But damn it, if I don't have the same zip code as my old house. And that, my friends, is a victory. And it's only one shared wall. I mean, come on. All right, look. We'll be back. It will be funny if Campbell loses his job, though. Because there was just this huge pushback of that remotely being a possibility. And then they draft a tackle. And now that you've drafted one, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could mean nothing. But you're going to tell me if that kid shows in camp and you're like, they're like not going to do it because of optical reasons or because of optics. If I was a Patriots fan, that wouldn't make me happy. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headline.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. It's funny. Joe said, "Do you think Rob that called in is Hardy?" And I went, "Oh yeah, that was Hardy." I didn't realize it at the time, so I'll text him.
Confirmed though that it was Hardy?
I'll confirm.
Was he shooting the breeze?
But it must have been.
Yeah, the shooting the breeze.
Which
Rob
question?
might have been. It was about how my chicken parm take was bad, and don't interrupt.
Oh, and then was it about the the donut? That makes sense because then Fred even did a grunting agree, sort of like a and he got a little TO'd again.
It was almost like common practice for Fred. It happens often that he almost was like,
When Hardy used to do afternoons and on Saturdays with Jerry Trupiano, I was fascinated by how little Trupiano was paying attention. So I would call in, and we worked with the guy Chachi, Larry LaPrette, and Chachi talked like this, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah," and he had chickens. So I would call in, and Hardy, and I would be Larry from whatever the hell town he was, far away, and I would be like, "I'm Larry from that," and so Hardy would know it was me. And I would call in and I'd be like, like the Celtics are they're like my chicken George. He's sick and I can't let him buy the other chickens because it's something that made no sense. And I'd be like, right, Troop? And he would be like, all right. And I'd be like, yeah, you're not paying any attention. And then he would just be like, sure. And just every Saturday, my kids would be in the car, and I would just do it on speakerphone and turn the radio down, and then we would hang up and listen to it because it was in delay, and my kids would think it was the funniest thing because I'd be like, "Watch, this guy's not paying any attention," and be like, "Sure."
The Beatles suck.
Yeah, the Beatles. Oh boy. There's a diner 60 miles north of here that's got Beatles memorabilia on the wall. He still does breakfast with the Beatles, by the way, Chachi. Still going strong with that.
I love Church. He was here. He had an office, remember?
Oh, did he have an office? He had the biggest office in the building. I got screwed. They gave everyone those options. Laquadera's living in next to Oprah in Hawaii, and I'm stuck here. These sons of bitches. I know that dumb crooner that died, whatever the hell his name is, the San Francisco guy, Tony Bennett. I knew Tony Bennett. I'm going to play the special I was on where he says hello to me 55 times. And what's funny is I hung out with Chachi literally 5 days a week. I would go into his office and hang out. I legitimately thought Chachi liked me. And it turned out that once he left, he did not like me. He did not. I don't know if he disliked me, but he didn't have any interest in continuing the friendship.
He ran our marketing team. What was it? What was his job title here?
It was screwed. It was screwed. These guys all got equity in the company, and it kept selling, and they didn't give it to me. And dumbass Molesta Parento did opt out of it, and now he got screwed, but they didn't even give me the chance. Barandini and Laquadera all running around in mansions, and I'm stuck here with my chickens. By the way, that was Hardy.
All right.
He said I was 99% sure you didn't know it was me. I didn't. He got very esoteric with it. I didn't understand what was going on, really.
Well, he was shooting the breeze.
Yeah, and then he should know that. Anything goes with shooting the breeze.
It was the don't interrupt me that I feel like I've had that happen to me with Hardy before.
I just thought it was more funny than anything saying don't interrupt me. I just was like, oh, this listener's pretty funny. So I overestimated the listeners.
Not necessarily here nor there, but Hardy once had me as a guest on that Hardy and Troop show exclusively to talk about Smash Mouth, which I think was just to bother his co-host.
And you know what's ironic is now Hardy is friendly with the new singer of Smash Mouth.
See, the old singer of Smash Mouth, may he rest in peace. We had a little back and forth back in the day. We had a little push and pull.
I'm blaming you for his death.
We got along cool after a couple of spats, some beef, You
knew he was doing well when he was responding to guys on Twitter.
He was a big Twitter guy.
Yeah.
Love Twitter. And his Twitter account name was at Smashmouth. So you're like, I'm talking to Smashmouth right now.
Yeah. Well, he was Smashmouth. And really the idea that they're going along without him is really a disgrace.
It really is. But you know what? Guys got to eat. If you played bass in Smashmouth, and you're what? 56 right now, you can't start over again.
Well, listen, if you're getting the 90s cruise and they're giving you a paycheck just to get on a boat with a bunch of losers, then
Play the
God
hits.
bless you.
Hey, they're at the 99 All-Star game.
And you get to be friends with Hardy just by being the new singer of Smash Mouth. And then we ask you to do something and you kind of half-ass it like you're a rock star, and you're anything but a rock star. You're better off not being in a band than being in Smash Mouth.
Don't interrupt me.
That's right, Hardy.
Sounds exactly like Hardy.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was Hardy. It's Memorial Day, and we're here. We got up early in the morning. Asking us to focus that hard is too much of a task. This is going to be a very loose affair, and we only have an hour left. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
ESPN's Buster Olney reported over the weekend that the Red Sox are looking for, quote, a right-handed hitter with thump. But there are very few available options unless a team is willing to overpay. The Red Sox could have used that thump this weekend when they were swept by the Minnesota Twins. Red Sox ending this season series with Minnesota with a 1-5 record. Red Sox also dropping to 8-17 at Fenway Park this season. They'll open a 3-game set with the Braves tomorrow night. In the NBA, the Spurs dominated the Thunder last night to even up the Western Conference Finals at 2 games apiece. Victor Wembanyama scored 33 points in that 103-82 win. Also, Jaylen Brown was named to the All-NBA second team for the second time in his career. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Super Service Today. Upgrade your home with an electric heat pump system from Super Service Today. Stay cool this summer, warm all winter, and save on energy costs while reducing your carbon footprint. For a free estimate, visit superservicetoday.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Boston Talk Sports.
Break me. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. It is Memorial Day. Hardy and Wallach are not here, but Michael Hurley is here. Joe Murray is here. Joe Murray is got 2 jobs today. He's going to Nesson. For some reason, they're doing their show live today.
Yes.
Even though there's no Red Sox game.
I asked if I was going to be there. They said yes. And 4 o'clock today, everybody. Boston has entered the chat, and there's a phone number there where you can call in. And a lot of people, 55 plus seems to be the demo, Fred.
You take live calls? We
take calls. Some of them have to be screened first, but we do take calls, yes.
How randy did they let you get?
They let us, as long as we basically don't say what some people say about the Red Sox.
No, I'm just talking about if you wanted to get very sexual.
Oh.
Today's the day to do it.
Yeah, today's the day to really test the boundaries.
That 55-plus crowd, don't think they're randy.
I mean, 55 is the new 20.
That is true.
So, I mean, people are upside pineapple in it all over the place.
I'll tell you, though, they have those infomercials on at 9 a.m. Some really good workouts if some really good models people doing.
Well, I mean, if you'll recall, you guys are of the same age. You're not that much younger than me. Is that ESPN on weekday mornings was just saying, please masturbate to us. Because they were...
Beach workouts.
Well, they were, Kiana, and then even Corey Everson, who wasn't the hottest lady in the world, but they would work out in bikinis, and like this Kiana Tom was like incredible. She had like the most unbelievable body. She was super hot, and they would have her doing like incline presses every day, in a bikini, and they would be like super up close on her, like so so. It was a real pain in the ass if you got up a little late and then you were forced to masturbate to something else. Because this was before the internet, and so that's when we get into the Vicki Lawrence show. That's when we get into the Weather Channel. These are the things that boggle people's minds now. That young Fred Toucher, you use these things to pleasure yourself. And I said, yes. If I got up in the morning and it was too late, or in the afternoon, and it was too late and the ESPN programming was off, and ESPN is a network for men. I mean, it is. It's for men. They are chasing after a male audience.
They had probably moved on to the pro beach roller hockey at that point of the day.
I don't recall what they had on, but I do know that the only purpose of those workout shows was quite obviously to masturbate to them. Well, I mean, people were like, I want to go work out with weights. I wonder what I should do. I have this gym at my house with all this weight equipment, and I'm just going to sit down and copy what they do for a workout.
Well, I'm 44. How old are you, Mike?
39. I'll never turn 40.
Okay.
All right, little lady.
The grind on MTV was...
There's people dancing.
Risque at times.
Well, even if it wasn't risque, I'll tell you, Kari Wuhrer when she did Remote Control, it was a whole situation. And then she went on 90210 and she had breast implants and everything. Right. And you're like, my goodness gracious. David Silver, you're cheating on Donna. I understand it with this Kari Wuhrer. Because not only is she your assistant manager, she's also incredibly good looking. But like, yeah, I mean, when I look back, like if I see like a clip of like old remote control and just how like non-sexual it was, and the idea that I probably masturbated to that 500 times in my life is a little fascinating. It makes me feel old. It's like that's never going to happen again. And I think that we were better for it. I don't like the idea of myself at 15 having unlimited access to pornography.
Yeah, we used to find porn in the woods.
Of course.
And we used to have an A and B trunk. I've mentioned this a few times. In the city of Boston, you could put your TV on 2. But 23 was Playboy, 24B was Spice. I don't remember the Spice. I don't know if you remember the Spice channel.
I didn't get it, but yeah.
But you could every once in a while, you could hear the sound. But the visuals every once in a while would come through.
So I'm 51, and you guys might not have experienced this, but before everyone had VHS, or in our case, Betamax, which my dad priced them out for about 6 months until he made the wrong decision. He really thought about it before he pulled the trigger on the wrong decision. You would be at a friend's house, and you'd be searching through all the stuff, their parents' stuff, and you would come across a porn, and like you'd be like, oh my God, a porn. And then you go, oh, and then you would see, and it would be an 8mm porn. Like, so it required a reel-to-reel projector. And at one occasion, we found the reel-to-reel projector, and we spent maybe 44 hours trying to put the porno into the reel-to-reel projector and couldn't get it to work. And it might have been, I remember it to this day. I remember everyone that was there. I have no memory of anything. This, I remember everything. I remember the frustration and desperation of trying to get this porno because the pictures on the 8mm are microscopic. Like you can't see. You can't even make out anything. You just know in there lies some pornography. But then as I got older, I was friends with this Chaldean kid whose dad owned video stores, and he went to his parents' closet, and they might have had 1,000 pornos.
Oh.
And then you're like, this might be too much. And now there's a whole weird vibe here that they have 1,000 pornos.
I just typed in, I don't know why, fitness babes of the 90s.
Yeah.
And there's a retro fitness babes Instagram page. Jane Fonda is on there.
Yeah, I was too young for that.
Something Demi Austin. I can't.
Denise
see.
Austin.
Denise
She's
Austin.
no good.
Okay,
that's nothing.
What about
look at this Susan Powders, 90s fitness icon Susan Powder.
Wow.
Now I was too old for that, so that was not in my sweet spot. Kiana Tom, I might do it now. Like if Kiana Tom was on TV now, I might still masturbate to that.
What about Shawnee Jebbia? No. They have anyways.
I wasn't like a connoisseur of these women. I mean, it was just more if it was on TV.
Got it.
And then I do know what I would pivot to because the Lawrence show was on at noon, and she wasn't that attractive. When was
the Golden Girls on?
Well, the Golden Girls was one specific episode, and I stand by it. Okay. It was an episode where Randy Blanche, who was so open sexually, they had a young college man, that came into the home, and she seduced him successfully, and they got into that. And by the way, Rue McClanahan was like 58 when Golden Girls, like when it started, she was probably 49. They retired very early. No wonder they needed roommates.
People looked like garbage back then. There's a picture of John Goodman and Roseanne Barr. It's like, if this show was made today, they would have been born in 2001 and 2003. And like, they looked like absolute crap.
Well, if you even want to go further, like go back further in time, I've seen like studies on it. And there's like a bunch of smoking is like number one. But there's like a bunch of reasons they give to like that people were that haggard. Well, first of all, I think in 1940 that the age, or 1930, the life expectancy for an American man was 32, or not 32. The medium age was 30. Like you like if you're 32, you were living like a lot. Like
60 was the end.
Yeah, 60 was the end. Like there was it was a because I'm reading this book. about it's Memorial Day. Please just allow us to bop around. I'm reading this book about this jazz saxophonist that someone suggested, and they said it's the craziest autobiography ever written, and I'll agree. And this guy's like insane. He admits to like just awful things, but he's also a huge heroin addict. And he was born in like 1925, and they talk about his parents. His dad ran away from home at 10, just ran to the dock in San Pedro, and a boat picked him up and just said, "Hey, do you want to be a deckhand?" And he was like, "Okay." And they took him for a month. Just a kid off the deck.
10 years old.
10 years old. And they would have 6 kids, and like 5 of them would die right away. Just so right then you got 5 gone. And then, and if you were lucky, you lived to be 60. This is all very new.
There were like specific neighborhoods, I want to say, I remember reading, it was like London or something, where if you lived there, like your survival rate chances were 25%.
Well, the Blitz. I mean, the people that are in their 80s, 70s, 80s now lived in, they played in wreckage of bombs. All right, there you go. That's a little history lesson.
By the way, Susan Powder, that story is about her. She's an Uber Eats driver now.
Yeah, she went bankrupt. She was not good with her money. But she had a haircut like the girl from Rocky IV. All right, Jaylen Brown, ladies and gentlemen, if I may pivot, if you'll allow me to pivot. Jaylen Brown is second-team All-NBA behind Doncic and Cunningham, who they had the grandfather in because they missed too many games. And he's not on the second team by like a hair. He was outvoted
30 points
fairly substantially. Cade Cunningham and Luka Doncic over them. Jokic and Alexander were unanimous, and Wembanyama for some reason wasn't. I think he was like a vote off. But Jaylen Brown, as he often has this offseason, he's taken to his Twitch stream, which I guess he does because he likes the people in real time agreeing with him or liking him. Is that the appeal of the Twitch stream? Because there's no way he's monetizing it in any way that would affect his life.
Yeah, I feel like it's a way for him to go live. People can follow him, but also have that. Because I don't do the video game chat thing. Do you?
Twitch,
Mike?
no. But there's a lot. I mean, podcasts in the NBA are so popular. NBA players just love to talk about themselves and whatnot.
Paul George was doing more podcasts than he was playing this year.
Well, I mean, but that makes sense because everyone was listening to it. Paul George is a sensation on podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if there's anyone who's transcended athletics and really made a name for himself with his old media empire, it's Paul George. Just the name Paul George rings. It sticks in your head.
Yeah.
It's the time well spent. You know how much he probably overpaid for that equipment and how many guys he's probably got working to just release that to the ether and have no one ever consume it. And the only thing that's ever going to come out is if you say something controversial. Literally no good can come of it. Nothing that you say that's positive or well thought out is ever going to be cared about by anyone. The only thing that can happen is that you'll say something that will piss someone off and that you'll get into some kind of thing. Like, you could be making, like, Jaylen Brown, by all reports, is a really smart guy. He's very politically active. All of that is lost on a Twitch stream. None of that is consumed.
That's what Stephen A. said.
You lose the high ground.
Stephen A. said the same thing.
Well, okay, I didn't hear that, but thank you for insinuating I did. No, I'm just kidding. But, but it's the thing is that I've said this every time, because some people don't like when you make fun of Jaylen Brown. For some reason, it becomes racial. And the thing is, I know that there's probably no doubt that over the course of a 3-hour live stream, he's saying most of the time very innocuous stuff that's just like with his people watching it. But there's a good chance maybe he's saying, I'm by no means saying shut up and dribble. Talk about anything. But he might be making these incredibly life-changing political points that could bring the world into a new era of utopia. But I'll never hear him because that's not what people consume. They wait for you to say something that they consider dumb or controversial, and then they jump on it. And it's not even going to be a political thing where you can go, well, I wanted to spark this debate. It's just something like, this was my favorite season. And then it's taken in a vacuum, and there could be a bunch of context to it, but I'll never hear it. And I admit it. So anyway, the all NBA teams were put out, and here's Jaylen Brown on his Twitch stream.
I'm not the most liked fan or media. Sometimes I use my platform a little controversial, so I'm surprised I'm on any team, let alone first or second. So,
well, he's got a point, and he does have a gripe because he was kept off that Olympic team. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no doubt he was kept off the Olympic team for like shoe reasons or like political reasons, because you can't tell me that if you were making an all-star team, a team to win a gold medal, that you would now. There's Shane Battier was on an Olympic team, and I understand why they put him on there, but there's no way that you would go Derek White over Jaylen Brown.
Agree.
They're too similar, and one's way better than the other, and it's Jaylen Brown. So, like, for the purposes of putting a team together, if you were like at a YMCA and picking teams to run a tournament, there's not a chance anyone's picking Derek White over Jaylen Brown.
And Drew Holiday.
I'm sorry, Drew Holiday made it. Do you think they'll both be on the next Olympic team?
If the same, I think he'd be undeniable on the next Olympic team if he stays healthy, and like there's really not a way you could keep him off.
Well, plus like the LeBron and Durant era.
Right. Like, it's going to be, I know it's going to like Cunningham's going to be on it and all that stuff, but like, who knows? They kept him off of this one for no reason. And I would have normally been like, whatever. They kept him off, like, fine. But when they replaced him with Derek White, then you're just like shoving it in his face. He got screwed. If he wanted to be on that team, he got screwed. Objectively. So he does have a point about people holding something against him. That's valid.
He did shout Derek White out for being all. Derek White was all defensive team. Number one, first team.
Well, maybe he makes a shot in the playoffs and we can all have a good time.
Bombs in the chat. Second team All NBA. I'm grateful. God is the greatest. This is live too. Like this is
the charisma coming off of this guy is really something.
Live. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything. I'm not surprised about nothing. I'm grateful for everything. I know who I am, so I get it. I'm surprised I win awards at all sometimes. So I'm grateful, man. It's a blessing. Like I said, this season has been like, this season has been a journey. It's been great. It's been a blessing to be a part of the group that I've been on, especially with the expectations they put on us. The expectation was to, not even be a playoff team.
No.
And then you were, and then you failed.
No, but when Grandy does it, you don't like it. But when he does it,
I said then you were and then you failed.
Okay.
That's what I just said. That's what you're following
I
up.
just wanted to make sure because I hate that narrative from both of them, and I hate what Scal has to say.
Oh, he did that. Brown did the same thing. He even used gap year. Yeah, he tweeted out stuff like going,
Not bad for a gap year.
But at least Brown's on the team. So my problem with Grandy it was completely unnecessary the whole year. At least Brown's on the team and like effectively lost that series. Like at least there's a reason for him to pivot. Like, I don't want people to think of this team as being a failure. The team that I was on, the team that for 99% of the season I was the best player on. I understand that as a human. Now, it's inaccurate and, not a good thing. But for Grandy, his whole job was to grandstand about how great they were. And he wasn't even on the team. So why does he have to pivot at the end? He's got no skin in the game. Brown's wrong here, and I don't like that he loved it so much and that he doesn't seem to be taking the loss to. Now, look, as a person, it's good to get over these things, but, if I'm a fan of the Celtics, I'm not jazzed up that he doesn't seem to care that they were embarrassed in the playoffs because they were. But at least I can understand that he was on the team and maybe wants to be like, hey, it wasn't that big a deal. Grandy's just sitting there. I don't know why he's got to do any of this. And like your thing with Scal is, again, he's just sitting there. Like, I don't understand why there's a need to panic and redo your whole imaging on the team.
They said it was a miracle.
Yeah, big miracle.
A miracle.
Big miracle to lose in the first round. In the NBA, whoa. Where they let play-in teams in, where there's like joke teams playing in the quote-unquote playoffs. I know they don't count the play-ins as the playoffs,
But I mean, there's teams with losing records. I mean, it's a joke. Half the league actively tried to lose,
and it didn't work.
Miracle.
I mean, you're. And the funny thing is, Brad Stevens said it. Like, that's the thing, is it's not like we're being negative media and being unfairly negative about this team. Brad Stevens, who's in charge of the whole affair, who put it together, came out and said, we're not good enough. This isn't good. So he wasn't standing up there going, this was a miracle and wow, we're set up for the future. And he could have. He said, we're not good enough, and I knew it all year. He said, when we were winning, I knew that we weren't good, that it was like fake, that it wasn't a regular season battle that was not going to translate to the playoffs. So in reality, Brad Stevens is saying, Grandy, you're an idiot. You sat there grandstanding about how good we were all year, and the whole year I knew we weren't. So if anyone's wrong, it's Grandy. Stevens said he knew it. Brown's on the team, so he's got to believe, and now he's probably all embarrassed. Grandy's the only one with nothing to lose. Just go, oh, wow, that was disappointing, and then go home. It's over.
Got it.
It's not your legacy. All right.
That movie Miracle, this is more of a miracle.
Huh?
Hate that. Don't like that one.
If he referenced the movie with Marky Mark where he makes the Eagles, then maybe we're talking Invincible. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with the award-winning email segment. Hurley, get up emails, or if you don't participate, they're going to dock you some pay. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. If you would like to follow us, if you want to email us, I've received 2 emails on this Memorial Day. 2. Which just shows you the legions of people that got up this morning at 5:30 in the morning and got into their cars at 6 and started driving around town and said, give me local radio today. So I have received 2 emails today. But if you would like to follow the show, you can do so at Toucher and Hardy on Instagram and I suppose Twitter. And you can follow me at Fred Toucher on Instagram, where I am building an empire, brick by brick. And I do appreciate people sending me posts of people yelling at me for the Bill Belichick on Part of My Take interview, almost imploring me to react to something I don't care about.
May I say that there was over 600 people watching on YouTube today?
Well, Joe, I would believe that is, and I'm not just being saying this, I believe that would be because of your presence.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think that people on the YouTube chat are big pro Joe.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I'm sure if you've been reading the chat messages and it hasn't been incredibly negative, that would be because of your presence.
It has not been negative at all.
All right, well, that's because you're here, because I would listen to it tomorrow or watch it tomorrow.
Okay, I will.
And see what the people have to say, because it will not be positive. It will be very negative. I am a mental patient. I even know not to look at the YouTube. By the way, this email bit, to which I've received 2 today, is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all 7s. It's 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. You know, everyone was too busy calling Shooting the Breeze. It's too busy. People they don't have time on Memorial Day to email. But this goes along with what you were telling me off the air, Mr. Hurley, because Joe Murray and Michael Hurley are in today. Dave says the fact that the school that Michael Hurley went to, he went to a high school where if you had Saturday detention, there was a way that perhaps you could get less of the detention by wrestling the vice principal shirtless. At least while he was shirtless, he would wrestle you. Dave says the fact that the school didn't have a wrestling team makes the story 100 times better. Now, Michael, you were talking about you received a tweet out of the blue today.
Yep, not a follow. It happens every time it comes up, and it just sort of confirms this not a secret thing that took place. Someone always knows and experienced the same thing. So today I received a tweet from someone who doesn't seem to tweet much, and shout out to our alma mater.
Yeah, just they said they knew on a Memorial Day. They knew that Michael Hurley went to the school where the vice principal would take his shirt off and wrestle students as a way to prove, like, maybe I let you out of the Saturday detention a little early.
And you went to a Catholic school, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Again, these things happened at my high school as well.
Someone said, what is, Fred, the biography that you were reading about that crazy jazz guy? It is Art Pepper is the guy's name. And one little Google search will show you several stints at San Quentin. A man with a very interesting life. The golf tournament. This is from our friend Tima, who emails every day. Is there any option to bid on attending to just hang out with Joe and watch him critique the food spread?
I wasn't invited. So, second year in a row.
Oh, boy.
But if you would like to sponsor me to be there and critique the food spread, I would attend.
Okay, because there is a bidding thing that could be viewed as being embarrassing for Hardy and I and Wallach, if you want to count him as a person, is that there is bidding to be a foursome with Felger and Maz or with us. And the last time they talked about it, Felger and Maz was going through for $10,000 and we were going for $1,000. Okay. So now I have just looked. This is the first time I've ever looked. Hardy was always the one that did this. 98.5 The Sports Hub's 15th annual Hoosier Caddy is going on Monday, June 8th. So I guess soon at the Brook Meadow Country Club in Canton. It's sold out. It's sold out in minutes to play The proceeds go to the Special Olympics of Massachusetts. And if you would like to get involved, you can bid on a foursome with either Felger, Maserati, and Jim, or Hardy, Wallach, and I. And there was like a conversation like, who would you rather play with? Because say Felger and I cancel each other out as both being dicks, then Maz and Hardy are both like good guys. And then it really comes down to, would you prefer Jim or Wallach, which is what I'm saying. I'm guessing why they're getting so much more money than us. So that was like a fun little thing that we did for about 2 minutes. But then it became a non-starter of a conversation because, again, if you'd like to play with Felger and Maz, a round of golf with them at Brook Meadow Country Club. Now, this does go to charity. That will cost you north of $10,000.
Wow.
And for us, you would just need to surpass $2,315.
Still a lot of money.
And I said this to Hardy, and I meant it. Maybe better we don't get $10,000 because I don't know if I have $10,000 worth of entertainment inside of me.
Well, I'll say that. I think Felger can enter. I think it would be better to pay to be with you because, how long are you going to be able to, what I mean is like, at some point you're going to be like, when are we getting out of here?
Yeah.
When is this over?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious what your level of patience would be, which is kind of why I'm more interested in your group than their group.
Well, we've played with guys that have been to play with us before, and it's never just been one guy. It's always been like a twosome, and it's always been good. I'm fine. I'm good with it. The only reason I would be like I want it to end is if it's moving super, super slow. It would have nothing to do with the person we're playing with. My whole thing is, though, if you paid $10,000 partially just to be with me for that amount of time, I would feel this responsibility to entertain you. And I don't know. And my fear would be that you would leave the round going, that wasn't worth it. And then I would feel bad. And the whole time I'd beat myself up about not giving you what you wanted. Like you didn't think that I delivered on the promise of what you paid all this money for.
It's a lot of pressure.
And and Hardy asked Felger, he was like, do you know the guy? Like, because it happened right away. Like it just went to 10,000. It wasn't like it was 1,000, 1,500, and so on and so forth. It just like went to $10,000.
Like a Nantucket buddy or something.
And he knows the
benefactor.
And he gets involved with the Kennedys. You'll notice his only charity thing is this whole Kennedy situation. Felger's very the whole Christmas in the City thing is the Kennedys, and he's trying to rub elbows with the elites. Oh yeah. Though every year they have one of the Kennedys on to talk, and then I went, yeah. Someone wants to be. See, I'm more of a man of the people. I don't want to be friends with nobody, and I'm not rubbing elbows with the Kennedys.
You're the working man on Memorial Day.
It's true.
You said it. So anyway, if you want to play golf with us, $2,315. Thank you to our friends at Catches Law, the Boston Bruins Foundation, the Patriots, Celtics, and Red Sox, Bernardi Auto Group, Footray, Yellow Bryant's, Pin Golf, Golfers Warehouse, and Snell Golf Balls.
The only email I got today was nobody cares about Fred's tales of masturbation.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I disagree.
Yeah, everyone cares. Why don't you just say the opposite of what's true? Everyone knows what I masturbated to 35 years ago. That is what the people want. You've been hearing about it since I got on the radio for the first time in 1998. And I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. You need to know, in the summer, when I was in high school, what I would masturbate to. No one cares. I find that very difficult to believe. Maybe ask Nessa to write an article about that.
You know what?
If they want to cover feuds, my feud with this guy who thinks no one cares.
They do cover beef.
They do.
They absolutely
Speaking
do.
of that, someone, because the question was asked earlier, steak and cheese, chicken parm, or Italian. I have been asked where is the best chicken parm sandwich, and I would suggest Medford, Massachusetts.
Oh,
Bob's Deli braided roll, large. You've had it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too many times at Bob's.
Not the greatest parking situation, but oh boy, Hubba hubba.
You mentioned George Wright. One time I went to Bob's, got an Italian sub, went to George Wright, opened it up, and it was literally like an Aladdin loaf of bread. Just like, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Did you eat the whole thing?
I sure did.
Oh.
A whole new world.
What is Tewksbury, the best place to get
There's
the best food?
There's a beef shop out there called Tessie's that is very good. Tewksbury's got a lot going on out there.
Dude, the pizza at Treehouse?
Legit.
So you were right there with him. Because I'm just Googling Massachusetts towns at this point.
I live in the area.
No, I understand that, but this is pretty impressive. Could I go Bridgewater?
Boards and Barrels, they have great hanging bacon. One of the things that I really liked. But there's a lot out there. Augie's taco truck, fantastic near the college out there. Very good.
Some of these places, I don't know where they are, and they might be too far afield for you. Haverhill.
Oh, Lando's is a great sub place out there. I like Hidden Pig, a great little spot. Barbecue. Haverhill's a real haven of food places out there. It's very good.
Well, okay, Groton.
Nothing, dude. I don't even know what's out there.
Groton's got good restaurants, actually. You'd be surprised. It's got like a little situation going.
You mentioned Hudson. Tell
I?
Milo. There's a creamery right there that's very good, and Rail Trail Pizza.
Well, the only thing about Hudson is when I pass Honey Pot Hill, which I do every time.
Yes,
I just think of Zoe's story of having violent diarrhea, a Honey Pot Hill situation, he calls it. And then when he leaves the bathroom, he realizes there's an open window that is right by a porch, and there's two young ladies sitting underneath that window while he grunted and made noises. All right. I'll leave you. You didn't know Groton, which is a little disappointing because that's somewhere that I know.
Groton restaurants. I just looked them up. It's not much.
There's that one where they have the cows that you eat right on and back. They slaughter the animals.
I've heard of Forge and Vine before. I think that's an upscale place.
We had Forge and Vine this season. I'll just do this last one. If I can think of one last town that is not obvious or too far afield. Do you ever make it out to, or what about Stowe?
Stowe's a little out there, but they have that, there's a golf course that has very good food.
Do you remember what you had?
What is the name of that?
Butternut Farm?
No, keep going.
Stowe Acres.
Keep going. No.
Wedgwood
Pines has excellent food there. I believe they're a partner of the station. That's why I went out there.
Oh, okay.
But as far as Stowe, though, no. But Stowe, Vermont, now we're talking.
Some good food
Some
there.
real good food out
And the
there.
Maple Creamy.
Yep. And I think there's a Ben and Jerry's up there as well.
That's in Waterbury, maybe.
They keep it too DIY out there. Those two hippies. Yeah. They don't want you getting any access to their product. All right, we'll be back to lead this ship to shore. That will do it for us. As soon as we get back, we can end, and you can get along with your holiday. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
Jaylen Brown was named to the All-NBA second team last night. Detroit's Cade Cunningham beating him out for the last spot on the first team. For Brown, this was his second time earning All-NBA honors. Tonight in the NBA, the New York Knicks will try to earn a trip to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. They'll take their 3-0 series lead into Cleveland tonight against the Cavs. If you do the math, the Knicks haven't been in the finals since 1999. The Red Sox entered the weekend looking to ride the momentum of their sweep in Kansas City, but instead they got swept by the Twins. Twins going 5-1 against the Red Sox this year, 21-26 against everybody else. Red Sox off tonight before hosting a 3-game series against the best team in baseball in the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta throwing Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder, and Chris Sale at the Red Sox, the latter two of whom are Cy Young candidates. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Oakers Technologies. Spring cleaning means out with the old and in with the new. I'm talking about your company's IT, of course. It's time to make Oakers your single-source IT partner. Get future ready at okers.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update at 10 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. You're thinking, what could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. Dundero and Callahan are ready. They're chomping at the bit. They can't wait to get in here. And I'm going to delay it as long as possible. I want to be here a long time. Long time. But Joe, you and I, we get a day for this.
That's right. Later in the summer when it's nice before football season. And I'm excited to use that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Joe, what do you got?
All right, well, a tradition unlike any other. Last Friday, it was the second annual Weenie 500. It is the famous Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicles of New York and Seattle and Chicago. And, well, let's hear who made it to the Wiener Circle.
It's not over yet. It's never over at the Weenie 500. Look at this. 6 wieners, tip to tip. They've been pounding around this racetrack.
All right, so the idea is if I'm calling this, I'm going to make it is throwing as many double entendres as I can. Well, they're not even double entendres, euphemisms, I guess.
Correct. So I figured the ending would be enough.
Yeah, so it's no fun if they're trying, right? Like they wrote them all down like tip to tip, and like I've 8 wiener. Like you go ahead and play it.
6 wieners, tip to tip. They've been pounding around this racetrack trying to settle this score, guys. Slaw Dog desperately wanted to retain that title. I'm not sure they got it. New York Dog, hanging on.
Oh, no.
Who can force the wiener into the front?
The gap is massive right now for New York Dog.
Who's going to edge it? Slaw Dog's in with a shout. New York Dog has the run to the line. Here comes New York Dog. Chili Dog looking to make the move.
All right, very good. I get it. But the problem is that obviously they're trying.
Yes.
And it's no fun if you're trying. It has to be a mistake on the part of the announcer for it to be funny.
The New York Dog won. Spoiler alert.
So they have representation from different cities. The vehicle was manufactured in there, or they just stored there?
They're manufactured there, I believe. The Seattle Dog. Did you know they put cream cheese on a hot dog?
No, I did not.
Would you eat that?
No, I won't eat cream cheese.
I would.
Cream cheese on a hot dog.
Maybe some pickles in there while we're at it.
Okay.
Just keep adding stuff.
But anything for a holiday.
We got to bring back the hot dog safari.
I worked the hot dog safari years ago with Eddie.
So what was that like? So the hot dog safari always
heaven on earth.
Always fascinated me because it was at the dog track.
Suffolk Downs. Yes.
And so it was a hot dog thing at a dog track. It sounded very odd because you don't see that in other places. So what made it a hot dog safari?
It just was
you get in and
vendor you could think of.
And they're all selling hot dogs?
They're not selling. You're in. Once you're in, walk around, grab one of those, grab one of those, grab one of those.
Okay, so was it what they put on the hot dogs was different?
No, it was just a hot dog event at Suffolk Downs. We did the radio broadcast there with Eddie Endelman. And one year there was green ketchup.
Okay, but so it's just like I would get a hot dog from here and a hot dog from here, and they were just like hot dogs.
Yeah, it's just wieners everywhere.
You're like, I'll have an Oscar Mayer hot dog. Oh, I'll have a Castle Island hot dog. You just move along and keep eating hot dogs.
Well, why would anyone deliberately get the Oscar Mayer hot dog?
You got to try it. Oh, yeah, that's a weird taste.
You can try it just by being alive.
You know,
at some point in
actually,
your life.
the guy that hosts the Coney Island thing walked up to me and my friends and was like, "Do you guys want to be part of a hot dog eating contest?" We were like, "Yep." And I was on stage. I ate 4. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Dipping them. Someone ate 12.
It seems like really a war of attrition that you would just be like whoever's willing to eat.
Basically.
So you just like gave up right away?
After it was like whatever, how long? 12 minutes? After like 5 minutes, I'm like, I'm stopping.
Yeah.
I am a human being and my body's saying stop. That's really the difference between me and Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, because I could see like going, yeah, I'll do it, and getting all like, oh, I'm going to try. And then you have a hot dog and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And then kind of just sitting there for the rest of the minutes.
My friend did it, and he ate probably 7 and threw up after.
And they
all throw up, by the way.
Think of a card show with hot dogs instead of the tables of cards.
Yeah, but there's different kinds of cards of varying values. Like if you're telling me that it's just a hot dog.
That's all it is.
Like a natural casing hot dog, okay, then you're like, good. But if it's just a natural casing hot dog and there's like 17 different natural casing hot dogs, It
I
seems
can-
rather redundant.
I can clear this up because you're looking at it as an adult, like with a bank account. Imagine you're a 15-year-old with nothing to your name. This is like the best day of the year. That's really what it comes down to. I wish I was 15 and broke.
Michael Hurley, very impoverished upbringings. No money for hot dogs.
Nope. Well, I lost it all at Saturday detention.
The most if you really want to know how rich it is, if someone is, open up the refrigerator and see how many packages of hot dogs there are, because that's a real burner. That if you want to burn money at the supermarket, it's them hot dogs.
Well, you get the beef ones. Those are like $6 a pack.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, yeah, and you only get 8. I mean, like, it's a whole thing. And then you buy buns, and that's another few dollars. All right. Well, Joe Burry, have fun. Good luck at
Yes,
Nesson today as you're
4
working
o'clock
2 media jobs on Memorial Day. Michael Hurley, good to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Welcome back to the fold.
Thank you.
I see Dundero. I see Callahan. I see Little George. So everyone's very excited to go.
Thank you, Ryan.
And that'll do it for us. I will be back with Hardy and Wallach and the guys tomorrow. Jonathan Papelbon will be on with us at 8:20. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Bye.